Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show. We are doing the top 10 things I've played this year. 20, well, not this year, 2023, I should specify. It's now 2024. I keep forgetting. I don't know if I'm the only one still writing that on dates.
Yeah.
But really quick, I should mention I'm here with three other panelists. To my side, I have Zombieromeo69.
Hi.
Above him, we have Cooj.
Hey everyone.
And then to his side, we have BlacktieBlacksuit.
Damn right, brother.
I mean, really quick, my New Year's, I don't know about you guys, what you guys did on New Year's, but my New Year's, I basically spent the weekend at my wife's friend's house. It was not the most exciting New Year's, I'll be honest with you. It was basically, all of us have kids the same age. So what it turned into, it turned into was the wives hanging out and us all guys basically babysitting for a weekend.
Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah. And then, then we missed the New Year's because all the babies were crying and everyone walked away. So it was just me and one of the husband guys, and we just cheers, and that was it.
Cheers.
But it could be worse, How was your New Year's, Ty?
I partied hard with the Butt Pants fam like we do every year on their show. And we pummel partied until the ball dropped. It was great.
Oh, cool. How about you, Cooj? How you feeling, first off? And second off, how was your New Year's?
I feel better. So for those that didn't know, I've had COVID. I got tested positive this week. So that's been interesting. But New Year's and Christmas was good. We had 3 Christmases. So one for me, and then me and my wife's respective families. And New Year's we went to one of my wife's friends' places. We spent some time there, and then I came back and I streamed. while our son and their kids had a sleepover.
Okay.
So it was interesting.
I'm glad that you're doing better.
I'm also muted.
I mean, I can hear you. Everyone here can hear you. At least it sucks for your channel. Oh, man.
Off to a great start. Yay.
Just go back and watch the YouTube video. You'll understand.
But I'm glad you are doing better, because I also had COVID before the New Year's and it hit me like a truck. But you seem to be handling it much better than I could, and you also sound really good, so that's great.
I was dead for about 2 days, where I wanted to do nothing but sleep. I wanted to do nothing but sleep, and then the moments I had to get up and go do something was just so I don't lose my sanity.
Walk around in your room in a circle.
And last but not least, Zombie, how was your New Year's, man?
I had so much fun. We have a tradition here in Mexico where we stuff old clothes with firecrackers and newspapers. And we put it in the middle of the road and we light it up on fire, representing that we're burning up the old year. We did that this year, and I had so much fun because I had all of the mod team from Hamos stream in my ears because we were all celebrating at the same time. While I was just showing them off with my camera how we burn a humanoid effigy in the middle of the street, and it goes kaboom.
That sounds so dangerous. I don't know why.
You were telling us about that New Year's, though. It did go well? Because, Zombie, you were on the show with Butt
Were
Pants
there
as
any
well.
injuries?
No, just the effigy. Just the effigy. It's not there anymore.
I would imagine not.
I would be freaked out if it came back to life as why did you burn me?
Like a zombie.
Just imagine the last 10 years ones.
No, shut up.
Oh my god, it sounds so dangerous, but I'm glad you had a good time and that you still hopefully have all your limbs.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's something that we've done forever, and it's a thing here in where in the state where I live. I've heard very little of other states doing it, so.
It's a thing up here in Sonora, actually.
Oh.
Well, I mean, isn't fireworks legal there?
Uh-huh.
Fireworks are legal there, aren't they? Sonora?
No. No, they're legal. Plus all of
Jersey,
the
they're not. They're not legal in Jersey. Just putting it out there.
Oh, they're legal in Iowa too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I imagine where it's legal, people probably go nuts.
Dude,
Oh yeah, they do.
We
Come
have
on,
whole buildings dedicated strictly to fireworks.
and we have whole buildings dedicated to dogs who don't want to hear fireworks.
Yeah, here it's
That's-
hard to find anything that's not like those little worms that you burn and they just sizzle.
Oh.
Snakes.
Yeah, that stuff. It's hard to find anything outside of like that. You can't find like the stuff that you shoot into the air. It is hard to
Snakes
find that
and
stuff.
sparklers.
Oh, the church like around the block from my place. It's also a school. It's kind of weird. They buy cannons, like those big clay balls that they shoot up into the air. Those are like I don't know.
Mexico goes hard.
Yes, we do.
Man.
We love our good fireworks.
Well, that's great. But let's
oh my.
let's see about games now.
Holy moly.
Breathe.
We didn't really decide a format to this exactly. I had something in mind if you guys are cool with it. I was thinking of us doing like, for example, we can go like top to bottom right. So go like Ty, Cooj, me, then Zombie. And then on the second row, we would start with Cooj, then me, Zombie, Ty, and then start with me. You know what I mean? Like
Just
we're passing the baton as we
Okay.
move.
Yeah, I like that.
Does that sound good?
That sounds fine.
Yeah.
Just remind me.
Sounds
So
great. Yeah, just guide us through it.
then that means right off the bat we'll be starting with Ty, which is perfect because in case he goes out, at least he'll get the first one on the board.
I made blue screen. Just let you know. I reset my PC today, but let me know when you're ready, and I shall.
You can go. You have the floor,
Alright.
man.
Let me weave you guys a tale of my number 10. I'm fighting cancer on the internet. In Mega May, we were playing. Guess what we were playing? We were freaking playing Battle Network, and I don't know. My videos don't want to work, so screw it.
Of course, it's Mega Man.
No, number 10 actually is specifically Battle Network 6 over here, if I can get to... there we go. The reason why is it actually still freaking holds up, y'all. I played it this year, and it still holds up. I am the biggest Mega Man fan, but I am the first to crap on it. Like, always, always, always. I love it because of nostalgia glasses only. This game is a JRPG trading card game with online play that came back from the dead to show these new indie games. Like, yo, all those concepts that you guys are stealing from me, I can still do it. It is solid. You don't have to play any other game in the series. I like that. Also, you're gonna hear a lot from me. Many people can play different ways. So if I go up against Cooj, go up against Nurbo, go up against Zombie, we're not gonna have the same folder of like 300 different attacks. The only issue is, it's freaking Mega Man, so the story is bonkers as hell. It makes no sense, and it's absolutely cheesy. But the gameplay makes it amazing, and it's my
I have
10th
played
for
one
this
of
year.
these, and it's its own universe from Mega Man. It's not really. It's like a spin-off sort of thing. So like, I
Yeah.
get you.
Yeah, it's just what if you like trading card games and JRPGs. Battle Network 6 takes all the mechanics from all the previous ones, perfects them, and gives you a wonderful like 12-hour package, and you'd absolutely love it. So that's my number 10 pick.
Okay. Cooj, you're up. What's your
Yeah,
number
so-
10?
Boy, mine is going to be all over the board. My top 10. So at number 10, we are going to be starting with Killer Frequency. So
good one.
Killer Frequency, you essentially are a radio host, and you, like basically you are trying to save callers coming in, from a murderer. Like a murderer, and you have to solve these different puzzles, but at the same time you're still maintaining your job, so you're still answering these calls and things like that. And it's such a new concept that I have not seen. Like, most people don't think of making a radio DJ, a playable character, or what their job is as a playable character. Like, up until recently, these last few years, you see these games where people are doing broadcasting or things behind the booth that you typically wouldn't see. And I think they take this to a completely different level, but the story itself, you actually have to pay attention to. You actually have to pay attention, and it's very engaging. And so I think this is a very great pickup for the year that we received.
Like,
So-
that sounds wild.
I
be honest.
remember watching him play that, and it looked so good. In fact, you were just reminding me of that, and I just put it on my wish list.
What was that called again? I'm actually gonna. I was sick. I'm gonna put that on my wish list.
So it's called Killer Frequency.
Killer Frequency. Okay, that's is it on Steam or where's it at?
Yeah,
You
that
can
sounds
find
good.
it on Steam.
Okay, cool.
The pacing and the storytelling in that one is it's so good. It's I've seen some gameplay of it, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat the whole game.
It was so
it's
good watching you play.
Delicious.
Oh, I can't.
I guess that
I was gonna
leaves
try.
my turn. My number 10 pick is going to be one that most of these probably wouldn't even expect. It is Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I
Really?
already know I already know what a lot of you guys are thinking, and I thought the same thing. I picked this up for free when it was, I think, on Epic for free or something like that, and it surprised me. It's Elder Scrolls Online. I know what all of you guys are thinking. It's still an MMO, so it has the MMO aspect to it, but it also has the Elder Scrolls magic to it in some way. Like, okay, so like the skill leveling in that game is kind of the same as the Elder Scrolls. As you do things, that thing will go up. So if you're using one-handed weapons, that'll go up, and so on. If you're using two-handed weapons, that skill goes up. If you're running around, jumping, stamina, and all that stuff goes up, just like in Elder Scrolls. The difference to it is that like your skills and your abilities, unlike in Elder Scrolls games where like you buy them at shops or you just get them from like leveling up, they're tied to the weapon itself, which is weird. So that's the MMO aspect. However, and then there's the other thing where it's like as you're killing things, you don't really clear out areas. Things just constantly keep respawning, because it's an MMO. But outside of that, the questing and the storytelling is 100% Elder Scrolls. Like, you feel... And it's funny because it's like, it's everything. It's Skyrim, it's Morrowind, it's Oblivion. Like, all those maps are in there. So you're literally experiencing, like, that kind of questing level and that kind of storytelling from those quests. Those quest lines will literally just chain one after another. And, like, you actually get the world that changes a little bit as you're doing these quests. And people, just like in the Elder Scrolls, start talking about, it's like, hey, that's the hero of this. That's the... Like, your actions actually matter. And there's choice. There actually is choice, just like in Elder Scrolls, and how those things turns out. So, like, it's... Best way to describe it, Elder Scrolls Online is basically Elder Scrolls Lite. And it's actually kind of fun. It's not terrible. So, like, if you're, which we've had for now, like 10 plus years now, that we haven't had a new Elder Scrolls game, and you want some of that, that's a good game to jump into. And that's one that just keeps going. Because it's like, the map is massive, man. Massive. I think I have over 100 hours in it, and I think I've only done, like, 2 maps. And there's, like, probably 50. Like, there's so many maps to that.
Holy
It's
cow.
huge. It's huge. It's like the whole continent. It's massive. But, yeah, that's my number 10. Going forward, you might agree with some of my picks, but like, that one I know is going to be the one that
That one
everyone's
is
like,
surprising.
why?
It did surprise
It's a
me.
fever
I mean-
dream of
I
you
mean-
and Chaos playing that.
I mean, I
We
think
did
it's
play
fair. I think it's a fair placement for it. I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
it's a fair placement for it.
Yeah, no, we did play that. Me, Fader, and Chaos, we played that for like a spell, a good couple of weeks, and like we really, really enjoyed it. Like the storytelling was just so good in all that. And with my turn done, that leaves you, Zombie. What's your number 10?
I just now noticed that I put my list like backwards, so my number 10 is my number 1. So I'm like, wait, why does this look weird? Oh, okay, no. Now that my brain has actually processed this, because I wrote this list like when you first told me, like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. I don't remember. It is my number 10 pick of today is Tunic.
Tunic.
Oh.
Ooh.
Tunic.
Okay.
I played that. I did not stream it because it was I did play it off stream because I was like, this game is hard. I know it's hard. I don't want to bog anyone down with my failure because it is brutal. It is essentially a isometric Souls-like game. I know you don't like the term, but it's the only term that I can think of right now. Because it has the stamina, it has the mana gauge, and it has the your life gauge. And the only way that you can recover health is by little flasks of health. that which you can go upgrade throughout the whole thing. But the thing is, the whole what I found fascinating about the whole game is that it doesn't give you any instructions. The only instructions that you have in the game are based off of pages of the manual that you get within the actual game, but they're in their own cryptic language coming from that world. And the only way that you can kind of decipher what you have to do throughout the whole thing is reading the pages of the manual. I'm not going to spoil any of the mechanics because I absolutely would recommend to grab this game blind and try to go through it, because there are certain secrets that unveil themselves throughout the whole playing of the game while you're picking up the pages from the manual, or else you're not going to be able to do anything. It's the way that the movement is just like I said, it's Souls like. It's very timely. You have to dodge, you have to block at a certain time because there's parrying in it that the game doesn't tell you. And the movement of the enemies are kind of slow, but they hit like a truck. So my number 10, my top of this year, which I did play this year. Don't doubt me on that one. Is Tunic. It comes from the same company that made, I think, I think it was called Into the Woods with the little cat.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Fiji Interactive. Oh yeah, Night in the Woods.
Can I tell you something about Tunic, Zombie?
Yeah.
That was going to be my after chat. The first game of the year, I always have chat pick. Tunic was going to be the first pick of mine this year.
Oh, fuck. A good thing I did not spoil anything.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for that.
No, it's a very, very good game. It's if you have a chance to play it, you're gonna get frustrated a lot.
Oh yeah,
because it's hard.
I never get frustrated with
Don't let the colorful nature of the game fool you. It's hard.
I'm hyped.
Yeah,
right.
keep getting hyped.
No, that's your thing. From what I've seen of Tunic, he's 100% correct. You would love it too.
I have heard it be referenced to like a Zelda type game, so like I can imagine it really is my type of thing.
The main character is a tiny little fox in a green tunic, with a little like
sword.
Little sword and a little shield. It is the design. It is based off of early Link designs, but that's what caught my attention. And after that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this game is very good."
Okay. Well, I guess that leaves Cooj. What's your number 9?
So my number 9 is Bramble the Mountain King.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh.
So
Wow.
So essentially the game is you are a brother and sister, which takes place in an old Nordic like mythology type scenarios where your sister gets kidnapped, you are the little brother, you are trying to save her, but you are doing these little mechanics throughout the game while also fighting bosses. And so as you're going through these different stages, you're learning these new mechanics, but you are also like solving puzzles with them. You are fighting bosses. You are just fighting regular ads, things like that. And the game itself is visually spectacular. It is such a beautiful looking game. And then when you have a beautiful looking game like that and you add a great soundtrack on top of it, it is definitely a feast to your senses to be able to enjoy the entire time. So the game, it has its beautiful moments, it has its stressful moments, but when you can add the visual aspects with, the sound aspect, it really pulls you in. And that game I have thought about all year, about how great this game is, and it snuck up out of nowhere.
I've heard that game could be very terrifying at the same time.
Yes, there are some like disturbing things, because let's be honest, folklores and different with in different
Yeah.
cultures and things like that. Some of them can be very terrifying, and
Brutal.
and so it's so good. It's so much fun. You know, if you haven't played it, like, this is a treat. This game is a treat to your, like, this is a treat yourself game. Like, it,
Wishlisted.
Hang on, because
God
for
dang it,
this one, I think I have a nice little tidbit for you. I think they just uploaded that one to the Xbox Game Pass.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
I
Yeah, so-
think.
Yeah, so if you don't have it, there you go. You can get it, not really for free, but you can get it with your
I'll-
subscription.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it is on Nintendo Switch, PS5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S.
Okay.
Alright.
My number 9. I actually played the whole franchise. This game, however, though, you don't need to play the first 2 games for. In fact, this game has nothing to do with the first 2 games, which is funny. It's like they just threw away the story and just decided to make a good game. This game is Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
Yes.
This game was so... You want to be a cowboy, gunslinging, just shooting things up. Dude, this game is it. Like, the funny thing is the first 2 games are old. Really, really dated. And the story is kind of whatever. And it's very janky. And, like, the shooting is very not great in the first 2 games. This third game gets it all right. It feels more arcadey, too, which is more fun. And it's just pow, pow, pow. Oh, it's so good. It was just so good.
I loved watching you play that. Oh my god, it was
That
so
was
good.
such a good game. Like, if you're looking for a cowboy, just shoot him up. And it's not that long of a game either. This is definitely it. Like, this is a really, really good one.
Like, Nurbo, I was so happy you let me, like, wax on about Western history while you were playing that in your chat.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It has, like, all those, like, cowboy history people in it. So, like, you do
That's
gunsling
like-
against them.
Oh, so
That's what I
it's historically accurate too?
No.
No.
No. This is, you're basically some old cowboy guy, and he's like telling this super long-winded story, and you're just like doing his story.
It's so good.
It's really well done, man.
Like it's narrated by the main character.
Yeah,
And he lies out his face.
yeah. It's funny because like he'll
awesome.
tell stories, and then someone will be like, "So wait, let me get this right. You did this," and it's like it'll just rewind. And all of a sudden the story changed. He's like, "No,
That is awesome.
that's not that's
That's so
what I
good.
initially intended to, but this is what I really did."
It's so good.
Zombie, what is your number 9
Let me pull up my list again.
or number 2? I
oh.
guess.
Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah, what's
It is my
two,
number.
Zombie?
Let me wheeze about it first. Believe it or not, this is a very old game, but I have recently got more into spoopy games more than I would like.
I think that's the
I've-
Hammer influence.
Yeah, that's the Hammer influence in me, and my pick for number 2, is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. It's a very old game. I think it's about 9 or maybe 10 years old now.
12.
Look at that, 12 years old.
Yep.
It is a very, very old game, but the pacing, the storytelling, and a lot of the jump scares that they put in are extremely well paced. And it's surprising how good and how good this how much this game actually holds up to is even after so long. It is still scary because you don't get any weapons. All you can do is hide. And these guys are experts in making good ambience. The sound design which is something that I really gush about and very go forth with while playing a game. It is very, very, very well made. it's a 12-year-old game that still holds up even after you play it now. Yes, it has its outdated things, like certain movements are like very janky and stuff, but it's still a very good 12-year-old game. I mean, I played it this year because I was like, gotta give everybody a choice to pick a game that I'm gonna play. Of course, they're gonna pick the scariest game. I had Hollow Knight in that, and I was like, yeah, they're gonna pick Hollow Knight because Hollow Knight is fun. Amnesia, okay. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I've
What?
Sounds like Twitch chat. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It sounds like
yes. Never give your
Yeah.
chat the opportunity to choose a game between a very cool game and a spoopy game, because they're definitely going to pick the spoopy game. They like watching the streamer poop their pants in the midstream.
That is a franchise I've eyeballed for a long time for like Spoopy Month, and like every time I look at the screenshots or see someone playing it, I'm just like, okay, we'll put that in the further back corner.
I'm gonna put this all the way in the back here, just so people kind of see it as a subliminal message. They catch on it immediately.
I know what game I'm gonna make you play during our next bet, Nurbo.
It looks spoopy, so
Oh my
I
god, yes,
I
please.
believe everything Zombie's saying. Like,
He's right.
And this is a game that I played this year because I first of all didn't have like the monies to buy the game originally, because I've looked at it ever since it came out, but I've recently just like, no, you know what? I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna get it for myself. And I bought it on the Switch because it was like, for me, it was like 20 pesos, which would be $1.50 maybe.
okay.
So I was like, yep, definitely got it, mine, perfect. And I played it. It's something that even if you don't like scary games, I would recommend you grab. Okay, because Frictional Games knows how to make a good ambience.
That's a good bargain buy, if anything.
Yes.
Can't complain for 50 cents worth of game.
It also changed the content creation sphere when PewDiePie made it with his Let's Plays.
Oh yeah, that and Markiplier.
Yep.
Ty, what is your number 9?
Well, my number 9 is the last remake on my list, because we had Dead Space, RE4, Mega Man, like I just showed. So this is the last remake I'm gonna have on my list, because I wanted to make sure like a lot of newer stuff. But Metroid Prime Remaster, holy crap! Just changing the controls kept it a 10 out of 10 from its initial release date. I just have one single issue with this game. Backtracking, but it's a Metroidvania, so
Yeah.
screw it. Like if you like shooters, but you don't want to play with your buddies or anything, I'd say straight up pick this up. Like now, 10 out of 10 soundtrack, 10 out of 10 map design, strong female lead if you really need that. Like it's slightly horror, but not all the way. It's slightly adventure, but not all the way. You're really just exploring borderline a haunted planet the entire time, searching for this weird radioactive material that's recreating like literally the devil of an alien called a Metroid that just sucks out your life, and you're the only person in the galaxy that can stop it against space pirates and their dragon leader. Like, am I describing something that doesn't sound good? It doesn't sound lame here. This is one of the coolest games, and because they updated it with modern controls now, it still is a 10 out of 10 and a perfect example of why we all love Nintendo. They suck as a business, but man, they keep bringing me back with these games. They straight up, we know how to get black tie.
They're killing it in the business market, but yeah, I know what you mean when you say they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up, the
They're
problem
all
is
exclusive.
the other issue I have with this is where's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and Prime Corruption as well. They already had a trilogy once. They need
Where's
to.
Metro Prime 4?
And I was
10
literally
years
about to
later.
say that. Oh my god. This game is so good, it makes you mad that the other games haven't re-released or been released. It's so good it'll piss you off. That is what I say. That's my number 9. So good it'll piss you off. Metroid Prime Remastered.
I might trigger you right now. I have never played a Metroid game in my life.
So either play Prime or Super Metroid. They're like the Zeldas where the 2Ds and 3Ds are very different, I think you would prefer Prime Nurbo, just to be honest. I think that's the one you should definitely try, but no pressure on that one, because I know your opinions of Nintendo are also of the strong variety.
Yeah,
I have never played one either.
Oh, yes, not
Cooj,
alone.
I was
hang
Super
on.
Metroid.
My brother, Cooj.
Well, I would like to high five BlacktieBlacksuit for that. High five. Come on. Virtual high five. Oh,
Slap.
slap.
No.
Audible slap. Because
go ahead, Zombie.
I played that when it originally came out on the GameCube.
Yeah.
With my friend. We played that game.
It's so good.
Without exaggerating, it took us about 2 years to finish because our exploration and our like time frames for us to play were too far apart. So it took us about 2 or 3 years to finish.
It was the greatest 2 or 3 years in first-person history. What
Not only that, that's my next game that I'm playing on stream for solo. Once I finish Lies of P.
Did we just like dock where I'm gonna play like Tunic and you're gonna play Metroid? Is that just what happened? We just digitally docked?
We traded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you two just need to switch your top 10 lists and just give them to each other.
Pretty much. But yeah, if you haven't played Cooj, for you, I would say Super Metroid because I'm making you play all the 2D games in my life.
You know what's funny though? I think it's because I always enjoyed watching other people play them. And not so much doing it myself, because to be honest, Metroidvania type games have never really interested me.
I have another one on my list for you.
I have 2 on my list right now.
I have another one down the list. I'm gonna beat into your head, Cooj. I'm just gonna let you know. It's Metroidvania.
Oh, and it's not because I hate them. It's one of those things where I enjoy watching other people play them versus doing it myself.
Same, but I dedicated a month to it, so I'm kind of stuck.
Nice shot. Okay, so I guess number 8. My number 8 is Prey.
Oh.
Prey was so good. Ambience wise, gameplay wise. It reminded me so much as I was playing it of BioShock. Like, it's got the spoopy ambience, the scary all stuff, but you have a gun, and as you get stronger with like weapons and so on, it's more of you just dealing with the situation rather than being like run for your life, you know? So like I had a really good time with it. The DLC was actually surprisingly pretty good too, because if you enjoyed the gameplay, the DLC was just more of that gameplay. The story, there was a story there, but it was kind of like whatever. But it basically turned Prey the game into a roguelike with like 5 different characters, and it worked. It really worked because each of those characters had like little tiny sub-stories in there as well. So you also had kind of a little bit of that going on as well. It's not nearly as long as the main game, which is fine, but if you wanted more, it was there too. So like Prey, in my opinion, was really good. It's a good spoopy game. When you first start playing it, just like BioShock, you're going to be eeried out and like, oh man, this is scary. Oh, that thing's there. Oh God. But then once you start getting like your weapons and so on, you're just going to be like running through rooms. You'll kill that thing. Okay, oh, there's this thing I got to deal with. And the story was good too. And there's choice in the story too, which I really, really liked. And dear God, I think the ending to that game really is what did it for me. Because the ending of that game just takes everything you just did and just like, wait, what? Like, 100% when you play that whole game, regardless of what choices you make, when you get to the end, you're going to be like, what? Hold on. Because that's just what that game does to you.
Yeah.
So,
that was the first game Cooj ever recommended.
That, for my number 8, is really good. If you haven't played it, it is really good. It was free on Epic for a while, and that's how I picked it up.
It's still on. I think it's still on the Game Pass. That's why I'm always looking at the Gamecast. If it's there, I'm gonna play it.
Play it.
Yeah,
It's Zombie. It's good.
It is a very solid futuristic sci-fi game. It is very solid.
System Shock, but better, I feel.
Yes. Yes.
So yes, it is on Game Pass. I can play it.
Yeah, never like that ending messes you up. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh.
That ending made me just go, what the fluff to everything I did in that game.
I'm gonna replay that now. Oh my God.
Zombie, what is your number 8-3?
Number 3.
Number 83.
Number 83. Believe it or not, a Metroidvania. Hollow Knight.
Ooh, okay.
Hollow Knight. I play it every year ever since I bought it. Because I still want to be hyped for Silksong. Hollow Knight I have their soundtrack on my phone and Spotify, and I think this year or last year, I don't remember, my Spotify what you listen to this year list was mostly video game soundtracks. And guess who was first? Christopher Larkin with his amazing soundtrack for Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight has a lot of visually pleasing things. Like everything is hand drawn. That's one of the things that actually messed with my brain. I'm like, how do you make a game completely hand drawn? These guys definitely did it. It is that going back and forth that kind of gets to me. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to go all the way back to where I was now that I have this thing. But the traversal, the controls are very, very tight, and that's something that I really, really like, and I absolutely enjoy. It's like whenever a game has a good parry system. If a game has a good parry system that just feels satisfying when you hit that parry, is like, think, oh yes, please continue parrying. This game has the tightest controls I've ever seen on a side scroller. It's highly recommended. The story-wise, it's very up in the air. Everything that you find around you tells a bit of what happened in Hollow Nest, which is the name of the whole world. But it doesn't give you enough. It just leaves you on a tiny cliffhanger. And that's what makes of this kind of storytelling very rich, because in every single one of the worlds that you go to, it absolutely enhances what your perspective of the other places are. And Hollow Knight is going to be up there for a long time until something else beats it, really. It is pretty fought between Metroid Prime, but I have not played Metroid Prime since my cousin bought it, and I have it right here. I'm looking at it right here because I have the physical game, but I have not grabbed it because I was like, no, I have to finish my other games first, and I have all of these other games that I want to play. But Hollow Knight, definite top tier quality, made by only 2 guys. That's why they're taking so long with Silksong.
Come on, Team Cherry, get on it.
Come on, Team Cherry, we're waiting. No, but these guys can take as long as they need, as long as they give us something as great as Hollow Knight, which by the tiny bits of gameplay that we've gotten, it's gonna be very, very good.
Am I wrong in assuming that they were bought by Microsoft?
No, I don't think they were.
I think they were.
I don't think they would actually subject themselves to that, because they've been wanting to keep it like a tiny
Not
company.
For being just 2 of them, I don't think they would do that for all the hard work they've
So
done.
they just have a contract with.
Yeah, they have a contract to
because I know that
publish
that's
with
going to
them,
be
but
on
not
release
develop.
on Game Pass. They kind of already put that out there.
Yeah. Well, kudos
I just
to them
assume
if they're getting. Yeah.
First day releases on Game Pass are, practically they like own everyone at this point. So
It's like Disney. Disney, stop buying us.
Disney, you can buy me. I'm fine with that.
I like them apples, Sony.
Cheers. Team Cherry.
But yes, my number 8 pick. Okay. Is it? Is Hollow Knight. Mostly because of the tight controls. The music is the best. And yeah, I love spoopy, or not spoopy, like vague storytelling, especially when it's done so well.
probably more gothic than spoopy, I'd say.
Yeah, it's dark,
Yeah.
like my soul.
You're dead. You don't got a soul.
Yeah, you're totally right. You are totally right.
Ty, what is your number 8?
Oh, my number 8. Let me just make sure I have it pulled up here. And yes, I do. So I don't like to say I'm a trendsetter at all, Nurbo, but we stream really closely together. And when I played GTA 5, that's like everyone and their mother started playing it again in our little group. I was just playing it for the story, and I have to comment on it because that's actually the thing I loved the most. I loved the most about it. I didn't realize how dated, but not in a bad way, the story was. It is not so much a commentary on our current culture anymore. It's a time capsule. And it's like, I actually ended up missing the world before 2020. That's what this is. It's a time capsule of Americana in 2020, or before 2020. This is also a game, if somebody who's never played games but is very open-minded would say, show me a very good video game for me to know what games are, I straight up pulled GTA 5 up. It is what Second Life should have been. It has literally everything you can do. Like, I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that. You can do everything in this game that you could do IRL, from stock trading to murder. It is insane. And the rush you get when you pull off a heist with 3 people who you thought were going to fail, it is amazing. You feel so good. It is absolutely... It deserves all of the praise it gets. Online play, kind of iffy, but now there's friend lobbies, so you can get rid of all the randoms and the 12-year-olds. It is harsh. Don't let your children play it. It is a gnarly as hell game.
I mean, it's mature as hell, so you shouldn't like...
Why are kids playing that?
Yeah, kids should not play this. But I would say this game, if I'm gonna be real, because I think of games as art, this is one of those games that should be held at an artistic standard. Like, we should respect it and keep preserving it. It is one of those rare games that only comes across once in a generation. I don't want to say it's perfect or my favorite game. That's why it's number 8. But it was just it left such an impact every time I've played it for various different reasons. But it's always the story mode and then the good times I occasionally have with my friends. But yeah, if you haven't actually played GTA 5, just ignore what everyone says about it, including myself. Boot up and just play the story, and you'll be more than happy. It is a solid number 8. And why it has staying power, you will understand the moment you turn it on and hear those first few notes of that Welcome to Los Santos soundtrack. That's it.
Definitely, when people think of like RPGs or anything like that,
yeah,
always GTA is always at the top of those.
It's so it is an RPG. You are role playing as gangsters and mafioso and a psychopathic Canadian. It is great. What, Trevor? He is a psychopathic guy from Montreal. He is Canadian. He's great. And then, like, everyone over here laughing at me with their yee-ass haircuts, and I'm just like, no, I can't say the rest of that line. It's so good. Like, seriously, like, look at Cooj's face right now. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That's how good that game is. It's like
Exactly,
it's 2 words, and he hears an entire scene in his head.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It really is.
Core memory unlocked.
Yeah.
PTSD.
All right. The rest of the games will actually make a lot more sense on my list. But that one I just felt it was more impactful on my stream than anything overall, because it was just odd that we all just started playing again for that weird month in the middle of 2023.
We don't talk about that month.
Yeah.
Cooj, what is your number 8?
My number 8, we're going camping. Because my number 8 is The Quarry.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie,
So-
you had me guessing for a second. I thought that was the name of the game. I was like, what?
Nope, we're going camping. My number 8 is The Quarry. So it is a monster teen campy slasher game. And so it is a visual novel type based game where you are making decisions based sometimes quick time events, things like that, on trying to uncover what is happening around this camp. So this takes place prior to actually no, this takes place at the end, I believe. So like they're trying to leave and some kind of weird shady things is happening with the counselor, but they're kind of realizing that there are these monsters that are running around and ends up killing people, and they're stuck there now, and there is this whole crazy story about them trying to figure out what's going on with these monsters, trying to stop them, while there's other ties happening in by not just the camp but the town next to them, and there is this whole it's a giant hole that you keep digging yourself into, and it's not just taking place here, it's been taking place for many a year, and you essentially are uncovering all of this while trying to make decisions to live and move through this whole scenario, trying to figure it out. You are on the edge of your seat. You never know when these monsters are going to come attack you. You sometimes will meet new characters, but you become attached to all these characters because you are making decisions for each of these characters. And so it really pulls you in and gets you attached to them to try to make them all survive. You know, the one thing that you see in these old 80s slasher movies, it really gives you that feel in these campy movies. And so it is a great game to play. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it's always really intriguing with these. So that will be my pick, is the Quarry. So make sure to go pick that up. It was made by Supermassive Games. You know, and which, you know, Supermassive, they make a ton of different games kind of with that style, but they all have their own little So I would definitely say go pick it up.
I saw you playing this. I have to ask, how many people did you get killed?
I think
He's thinking about it. He's trying to change it.
No. I'm trying to find a way. I'm trying to find a way to figure this out.
What do you mean? They died or they didn't die? What do you mean?
No, I'm trying to phrase this. Okay, up until about the very last scene, only 2 had died. By the end of the last scene, 5 had died.
That's almost everybody.
3 died in less than a second.
That's almost everyone.
Hey, we made it. Y'all take cyanide. Like, what?
Take these pills. What are they? Shut up.
Dang, dude.
And I don't want to explain what happened for the people that do play this for the first time.
I just definitely want to experience it.
because of that scene, it will ruin a good portion of the story. So
That's what I call a husband-wife game, because I'm going to be playing that with my wife so she can just scream at me and not do it later.
Oh yeah, me and my wife are planning on playing it, and she's going to be doing about 99% of it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. That's a husband-wife game for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, that takes us to number 7. Zombie, what is your number 7?
I was debating on this one. I had so much I'm going to englobal 2 games because I played them in the same span, because I played the first one and then the second one when it released. Doom and Doom Eternal.
Okay.
Ooh.
Doom and Doom Eternal. Another game that I adored because of how tight the controls were and how satisfying the oomph of the music made by what's his name? I'm not gonna remember now. I don't care.
Mick Brogan.
Yeah.
Mick. It's Mick G.
It's Mick Gordon. Mick Gordon.
Mick
Gordon. He did an amazing job grabbing the original soundtrack and pushing it into a more modern kind of
metal.
Metal. Yeah, I'm a metalhead. You guys know this. And that was beautiful what he did. But I'm not going to talk about the story in this one because it's just killing demons. Who gives? That's all you need to know. These games, I had so much fun with them because they're fast-paced. They are shooty bang bang. There's blood everywhere. It's just an all-around very, very good time. The first one that came out, I gushed over it so much. I absolutely love finding Easter eggs on my own. If I find an Easter egg on my own and I just hop around in my chair like, I found it. The first one had the levers, that were scattered all over the map. Every single map had a separate lever that you pulled on it, and somewhere in the map opened up a door that you also had to find that led you into an old version or one of the first versions of a level that one was based off of. So it was so cool. I've never played the first ones. I know I should. And that little throwback, the voice acting, I really enjoyed. It has Samuel Hayden in it. I don't know who the voice actor is, but the way that they deliver their lines, and then the plot twist at the end of the first one, that led into me buying the second one and playing it as well. The second one, even better than the first one, because they implemented a few other things with the movement, where it made everything feel more and even more fluid than the first one. And they also added vaulting and grappling with your shotgun. You can grab onto the ledges and just vault to another place, which made the levels feel a lot more like a jungle gym instead of just running around in circles, just avoiding the enemies. So the way that they made the second one feel is why I wanted to put the first one because it was very impactful for me, but the second one was so much fun to play. It's just non-stop metal music in your ear and jumping and shooting. It is so much fun. I put this one here in the middle, almost in the middle.
2 games, but I'm not gonna penalize you for that.
It's one. It's one. Shut up. It's Doom.
Penalties. Oh, damn.
It says Doom in the name.
I mean, okay, sure.
It says Doom in the name.
I mean, Doom
I can
and
say-
Doom Eternal are 2 different games, but that's fine.
Oh,
All right.
I'll
Fair
do
enough. Fair enough. Knowing that, I will change one of mine to
No,
a singular.
now you're gonna
No,
say it.
no,
You
you're
got-
fine. You're fine.
No. The line's been drawn here.
I got penalized. You have to get penalized too.
I don't have to take penal anything.
So we'll move on to Ty. What is your number 7?
So I have a few questions before I get into my number 7. Do you guys like solid Battlefield style gameplay? All of you? You like it? Nurbo?
I mean, shooters.
Zombie?
Yeah, anything with shooters. I'm usually.
You guys like potatoes?
What?
Oh God, I
I got
know
potatoes.
exactly where this is going.
I got potatoes, but what are you talking about? Oh gosh.
So if you have a potato and you like Battlefield, boom, perfect game for you. It is BattleBit remastered, y'all. Like, no freaking joke. I am not a big multiplayer shooter kind of guy. Like, I like a little PlanetSide. I like a little Battlefield, whatever. This game, it encourages good-mannered play, which is insane. That's actually the biggest thing. It's more the community of BattleBit that I'm saying, yeah, I love, than the game itself. The reason why is because healing, giving ammo, and reviving gives more XP than headshots. And it's all proxy chat. So what that means is everyone has to play nice, play fair, and play like a team. Otherwise, the one report system where, like, if you're bad and they review your last voice logs and you were being a jerk, you're insta-banned, and yeah, you're not getting a refund. The entire community knows this, and it makes everyone happy, sweet, kind, in as far as gamers can go, because, you know, there's still banter and stuff. And on top of that, like, it's just hilarious how accurate the guns are to real life, even though they're, you know, is potato. Yeah, it's 3 guys who made this because they couldn't run Battlefield 4 on their PCs. So they literally made Battlefield 4 with blackjack and hookers and potato. And it was great. And it's so good. And I'm surprised I couldn't convince more of y'all to play this. Because it's just a funny, silly, good time. Oh, I know why. The one detractor is it's not free to play. But, you know, you got to make your money. It is solid. It is solid, and that's why it's here and not more up the list, because there's no win condition in this game. But overall, the monthly updates, the guns that work like they do in real life, like, it is more of a military sim than anything. makes this great. And I just cut away before a Vsauce meme, thank God. But like it was, it's honestly solid. If you guys like multiplayer shooters with your communities, I highly recommend this as a streamer to other streamers or other content creators to play this, because you can get up to like 8 to 16 squads, go 200 versus battles, and it's
What?
Yeah, 250, sorry. And it all runs smoothly, no lag, because it's all meant to be on a potato. So this is potato out of 10. I love it.
I was
Potato out of 10.
wondering when we were gonna get to the what the fluff part of your list.
I have
We're not there. Don't worry. Give it like 1 to 2 more, then I'm gonna yell at Cooj for 5 minutes. It's all good.
I would like to say, where's my invitation to play this game? Huh? Blacktie?
Now, yeah, when I get streaming again, yeah, we're gonna play it.
Yeah, there we go. I'm happy now.
There we go. All right, cool. That goes out to you guys as well, because come on.
You were saying,
I have played it before.
Yes, you
I
have. You
played it
have.
before.
You have. I know.
It was okay.
It's so good. You can
It
batch
was
it.
okay.
I like it.
It was okay.
Potato out of 10.
I'm not bashing it. I'm not bashing it because it ran, and it ran with a full lobby. I had a full 250 on 250, and I had no problem.
None. And it's
So I will give them credit on that. That is impressive.
how you say you hate the game without saying it, Cooj. I know, I love it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It is
Guys,
impressive. It's impressive the way they did it.
It really is.
Cooj, give us your number 7.
Yes. So my number 7 is one of our people in this group here. It's one of our favorite games,
Oh?
and it takes place. It's a sci-fi game. It is a survival horror game.
I know what it is.
It is Soma.
Oh, really?
I was gonna freak.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh, hang on.
It is.
I need to wipe now. Hang on.
I knew it.
It is Soma. So for those that are unaware, it is a survival horror game where your main character had a car accident and he ended up having severe brain damage. Well, he joined a program that essentially removes your memory and places it into another body. So you think, right? And so this is going through his entire. So what happens is he gets transported to the future, like hundreds of years into the future, and you are trying. So then you figure out that the world has become this huge, like, this apocalypse took place, right? And you have to like try to get out of there while helping another friend. So they claim to send your memory on this thing called the Ark that will get blasted out into space, and it will hold your memory where you can live your life in a peaceful simulation forever. And so you are going through all of these little horrors that are happening that you're seeing, and it's really interesting because you are going through all these different areas, by the way, underwater in the oceans, moving from station to station to station, trying to figuring out what happened to all these other scientists and workers and things that happened. And then you learn the development of the Ark, and you are trying to navigate your way to get to there, but you're also encountering these like monsters on the way, and each of them is very unique. There's a specific way that you have to handle them. The game is very, very simplistic, but the psychological aspect of the game is so mind-blowing, and it really questions a lot of people's ethical dilemmas. Like, there is a lot of ethical dilemmas that you have to figure out in this game, and it makes you question humanity a lot. So fair warning to those who do play this, it is a high ethical, like, dilemma game. It will make you have a lot of dark thoughts, very pressing matters, and there are certain things that you have to deal with that could be very, very taxing on yourself, just thinking about it. So fair warning. But this game definitely will stick in your brain after you play it the first time, and it will not let go.
It will not let go.
I'm too much of a baby to even turn my copy on.
Do it. Do it.
No.
So that is my number 7, which is Soma.
I remember playing that a long time ago. The only thing that bothered me was like the light in that game, the light and like the blurriness. Oh, that used to drive me nuts.
Something cool about that game, it's made by the Frictional Games, the same guys that made Amnesia.
Ah.
Oh yes, it is. It is.
Yes.
It,
That was a follow-up.
it's actually one of the biggest reasons why I like it is because these guys absolutely know how to creep you without even jump scaring you that much. And that's because they know how to do ambience and ambient noises. This game does mess a lot with your head. And it's because they know how to do that. They know how to put little tiny noises in the background or like distant screams that you don't know where they're from. They're not from nothing. They're just there to hype up the fear. And these guys are experts in doing this.
From what I've seen, Soma is more like their old Penumbra series than it is Amnesia. And that terrifies me even more because Penumbra is way more scary, in my opinion, than Amnesia ever can be. And I just... Nah.
Actually, I agree.
Let's see here. My number 7, I guess, would be Assassin's Creed Revelations, which would be the 5th game in this series, surprisingly.
That's
Really
the weird
good.
one.
It's a really, really good story. There's a lot of things that are really great about it. For one, like, Assassin's Creed has way too many games, and they've already kind of jumped a bunch of arcs at this point. And Revelations is kind of the end of their first actual arc. So, like, which is basically the Desmond arc. And that one is the one that, like, everything just worked right. They got the parkouring down perfectly smooth. They got all the mechanics with, like, the tools and the weapons down pat, like, smooth. The story was really great, too. Like, it was just so good, that game. I'm trying really hard to try to explain how good it is without spoiling it, but that's like really hard to do. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, it works better than all of the other Assassin's Creed before them, which is, I guess, typical, but you'd be surprised how not true that is for a lot of games. So, like, just the moving, the combat, it's all fantastic. And then they even have, like, the whole, like, thing where you can, like, build up your Assassin's Creed guys and build up outposts and all that stuff. Like, it's so good. There's so much depth to it, and there's so much going on in that game, and they have it all done, like, right. And the narrative is good and everything, and, like, it's just so good. Like, the Assassin's Creed series alone is good, but that game right there, like, is like when they finally, like, got it right. The formula, the movement, the mechanics, they got it all, like, just right in that game. And, like, that's one that I would highly recommend if you haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed. That's a great starter, in my opinion. Like, everything there just works and plays
Even
right.
better than 4?
Oh,
4 is a very
4 is
solid
another
game.
game that, like, I have other things to say about, but, like, when it comes to, like, because technically 4 is the 7th game in the series.
Yeah.
So
that one's my favorite.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, is it better than 4?
So, like, I'm just emphasizing that, like, Revelations is, like, the one where they finally, like, got the parkouring right and the mechanics right and the stories right, and that's why it's my number 7.
Okay.
Zombie.
yes.
What
number are we on?
is your number 6?
Oh, I forgot about this game. I made this list so long ago. I was like, what is it? Oh, it is a side-scrolling game where you play as a little boy, and at the end, you turn into a giant blob of meat.
What?
Inside.
Oh.
Inside. It's another one of those games where there is no, like, direct storytelling on what is going on. I hear somebody giggling.
Sorry.
Wait, what'd you say this game was? Inside?
Yeah.
Inside, yes.
Okay.
I think was it the same guys that made the Limbo?
I think so, if not very close styles.
Hang on. Yeah, it's Plated. Yeah. Plated. Yeah, they're the same guys that made Limbo. Which I do see all of the similarities between these. This is a side-scrolling game where you're a tiny little child, like 10, 12 years old, I don't know, but you're running towards a facility where on the way there you see that there are these mindless moving, I'm gonna call them zombies, but they're controlled by a little helmet. You can see the actual factory in the background where they make these people, but there's really no storytelling to it. It's just ambient storytelling. The actual story is completely up to you. It's completely where you don't where you can take up your own conclusions on what's going on. But what made this game sear into my mind is the end, where you go up to the facility, you find what seems to be the brain of the hive mind that controls the rest of the other mindless bodies, and then you fuse yourself into it so that you can escape from the facility. It's something very bizarre and very like what I don't know how else to say, but guttural, very just crude. And it's something that there's really no explanation to it, because at the end you're just standing out on the side of the beach, you're finally free, and that's it. And it also has a separate ending that not many people know how to explain, but it's at the beginning of the game and you just disconnect everything, so you don't have to go through the whole thing. But you have to find these certain little dial thingies that you have to interact with throughout the whole game to make that the second ending relevant, because it unlocks that part. It's just a little side-scrolling game, which you wouldn't think it's gonna have a big story. It's very hidden, but it's there. It's a very good story, and I have no clue what it means. It just seared into my brain because of what it is. Good ambience, very not very much soundtrack, but the little noises that surround you are very well made. I'm gonna gush about audio all the time, and this one absolutely nailed it. So this is my number 6 pick. Yes, it's number 6 pick. Inside, made by the same guys that made Limbo.
It's been on my wish list for a long time. That one looks really good.
It is. I recommend just using good baller headphones for these, because there's those little pitter patter of the rain in the background, the moaning, and the way that the creatures move, the slurshing of certain enemies. It's just a good audio design, and it's super fun because it's a puzzle game too. And that is my number 6 pick. Inside.
I think Nurbo's muted. He doesn't realize it.
Oh crap! Am I muted?
Yeah, you're
Oh.
Sorry. What I was saying was that the fact that this ranked higher than Doom, Hollow Knight, and Tunic on your list makes me very curious.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. It's a fun game, and like I said, I like this kind of storytelling where everything is in the world. You have to look at the world and kind of look around on the ambient storytelling. I really enjoy it because it just makes you draw your own conclusions, which makes the story a lot richer.
Okay. Ty, what is your number 6?
Mine's also a side scroller, and it has good ambience. It also has a built-in therapy sessions, which is kind of wild. So it was actually a game gifted to me at the start of the year by Dissinger, because he knows I like ultra-hard platforms. It was Celeste.
Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna just be rage bait, but in the end, it was like a game that encouraged you, not in like the Dark Souls way, if you die, get good, but it's like, no, don't worry, you can get better. It's okay to fail. You're learning, and like that was a weird message to hear that I didn't know I needed. Like the game will actually make you feel while kicking you in the nuts. It's kind of insane. But if you like Zombie, you like solid controls, right?
Yes.
Okay. You like good music, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You like amazing sound design and background stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're probably
yeah.
gonna like the rest of my list, but here's the start of all that.
Oh gosh, yes.
This is even though this person's like really failing at one of the easiest puzzles, I don't even know whose video is this. Anyway,
He's trying to like
Shout out to
trying to say that he's not doing this. He's already
Yeah, I'm not
passing the
doing this.
blame.
it's like so it's full commentary, no game is what it says. But it's a solid platformer that I'm gonna skip ahead because this guy's making it not look that good. I'll just go over here and just gush about it for a bit. It's about a girl climbing Celeste Mountain because she feels she has to. There was something that happened in her past that she regrets. She has actual like mental disabilities they deal with appropriately in the game that lead into the story. Like she has the same ones I have: PTSD, regular panic attacks. It was kind of weird. I didn't know I would need a character like this to relate to in some random indie game. But damn it, Dissinger, you nailed it on the head for me. This was so good. And it's beautiful. And if you don't cry in this, you're not human. And Nurbo, I think you're muted again.
No, I'm good.
Okay, I just saw your mouth moving with that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, just
But yeah,
straight
if you guys need a solid platformer, like Cooj, I've been trying to slowly break you into platforming. This is your next one. This is your next one. You need to do this one.
Join us.
It's
Join us.
very
I've played it.
good.
It's good. It's really
It is, and honestly, if someone said this was their favorite game and #1 of any list, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, oh wow, solid. That is a valid opinion. But this, it is, the only word to describe it is beautifully frustrating, and it's great.
It's really good, and it's right up your alley, actually, Ty, because you love that Kaizo garbage. This game is not Kaizo, Cooj, if you haven't played this.
Far from Kaizo,
But
it's more like Mega Man.
It's tight, is what it is. It's like the tight controls, he nailed it by saying that. It's about making tight plays, and not so much like getting trolled.
Yeah, you have to jump in the right order. Huge tight plays McGee over here. But
they call me on the streets.
That is what they call it. He did it. But it is, if you ever need like a game where you're like, I'm just gonna do one level today and relax because I had a hard day, it will be difficult, but in the end the game literally will tell you, don't worry, just breathe. It has a breathe mechanic so you don't get frustrated.
You know, I thought about that with Mega Man X as well.
Hey,
I couldn't jump out the fucking mech. Couldn't jump out the fluffing mech.
The freaking mech, man, he didn't press up to jump out of it for like an hour. That was so great. But yeah, so that's very good game.
I figured I had to jump up the wall, but I can't get out of a mech.
I'm so glad that happened, that you figured out the wall climb before the mech. That was my pick there, but Celeste.
Oh, Cooj, what is your #6?
Mega Man X. Swear to God, that's not on his list.
So my #6, it is actually going to be a series as well. It is 2 games, so technically, I guess not a series, but
Cheaters.
it is a Plague Tale.
Oh,
I cried with that game.
A Plague Tale. This game is absolutely beautiful. It is fantastic gameplay. The storyline is absolutely amazing. So you are let's see, during the Black Plague essentially, but you come to find out that this family has been known to have this like certain ability to be able to control rats. And with that happening, essentially the Templars are trying to take over this kid and take the kid to use use his blood and try to rid of the plague. But essentially it'll end up killing him, or they'll use him for whatever crazy ass plan they come up with, right? And so you are making this trek all the way across, trying to avoid them, but also the kid is starting to, the little boy is starting to realize what is happening, like what is going on. He's a very young kid, and he's starting to come into this power, and he's starting to learn how to channel it, and it goes absolutely haywire based on just his emotions. I mean, you see towns, like full cities and towns, get absolutely swarmed by rats. And I mean, it's coming over a whole town like an ocean. I mean, I have never seen that in a game ever. Like anything like that, and actually be that visually stunning. Like, it has never been that visually stunning in any game I have ever seen. I mean, I will say, now, don't get me wrong, the gameplay is, at times, it can be very lacking. It can seem a little bit dull, a little bit of a walking simulator, but the storyline in itself is very tight. It's very good, very, very good. The music is even better, and the game itself just is absolutely fantastic. You know, you get used to it, but the thing is, though, is it's one that you don't really have to think. Plus, let's be honest here. In the game, they give you a flamethrower, which back in medieval times, what the hell? Like,
Rat King with
give me a flamethrower.
Done. I'm ready.
Like it is amazing. That is the one thing where I was like, I don't get it, but I'm gonna take it because that is amazing.
Not many people give you a flamethrower.
But
That's ridiculous.
But anytime you see the rats coming, though, you know things are about to ramp up and things are going to start happening. Like, and you can feel the tension anytime. Like, even if you see one just like scuttle across the room, you panic. You start panicking.
I love it.
Because you don't know what else is coming.
Those blasted rats.
Yeah.
Nurbo's just getting mad over there in the corner, but I'm like, this is dope as hell.
Oh, that is a game that I was very excited to watch you play because
Yeah.
I know the storytelling in that game is superb. And that is one of the few games that actually make me cry because of how good the storytelling is. At the end,
and you get so attached to them. You get
Yes,
so attached to the sister and brother.
it's just very impactful. It's highly recommended for the story too. Yeah, like you said, yeah, I've seen it being lacking on the gameplay part, but it's highly compensated by the idea of the story.
The production of everything else is so top notch.
Oh, plus I think that the rats are won an award because of the programming, because they are individual rats.
Yeah, they did. I remember.
That is true.
Yeah, that
They
was
they won an
insane.
award because of that programming that they did with the rats. It's just not animated. It's individual rats.
They're their own sprites.
That's insane.
Even more
But when
impressive
Yeah.
than
you see them
can.
coming like down in waves over the entire city.
They level the city.
They're all individual.
It's
It is-
actually even more impressive than you guys can imagine. There's this talk show that I like watching called Digital Foundry,
Yes.
and they benchmarked that whole thing and everything. The rats themselves run on a different frame rate than the rest of the game.
Oh yes.
So
I could believe that.
It's like a frame rate it's like some crazy Inception shit that's going on there with the rats. Like,
They put about 1 million there, but they're all moving at half a frame.
well, no, it's like the game runs at 60 for the most part, and then sometimes drops between 50 to 40. But when the rats themselves individually are running on a solid like 30, every single one of them, just to make that all work.
I could believe that.
Okay.
It's
Wow.
crazy that they did that. So like as these rats are moving at 30 frames, the rest of the game is running at like 40, 50, 60.
My brain's melting. That's insane.
And it's like you don't
Yeah.
see that in any game. No
It-
games
it's-
you see that.
It's impressive what they managed to do in that game. Like I said, these guys won an award for that. Just their rat programming. How the heck do you do that?
What'd you win an award for? Rats.
Yeah.
Like, jeez, that's so cool.
Gosh. Digital rats.
Oh my god. No, that's a good pick, Cooj. Oof,
Oh,
good pick.
no, 8. Oh, like rats. That's cool. They must have been really detailed. Yeah, there's about 2 million of them. They all ran at 30 frames a second.
Yeah.
The smart interns.
They leveled an entire city.
Crazy what they did there. My number 6 is actually a more recent play that I've played. It is Mass Effect, the first game.
Oh yeah.
I have the legacy packs. I haven't gone through all the Mass Effects yet. I have played them all in the past, but as of 2023, I only played that one so far, and it still holds up. The legacy even adds a couple of quality of life things where like there's some voiced over codec stuff. The graphics are upped. Oh, it's just so good. It has all the same magic it had before. It is a phenomenal, basic like space sci-fi RPG. Like it is just, it's got it all. It's got the communicating with your teammates, their own personal stories, and doing that, and doing their own quest line stuff, and the side quests are great too. It's just so well done. And then the greatest thing about it is like it has the depth of like the side, how everything plays out. So that goes from like side quests to main stories to like multiple endings that I've as I said, I've played these games in the past. That transfers to like the second game and third game, so like the depth is just, it's so good there right off the bat with the first game. So like it's just so good that it still ended up being my number 6 even 10 plus years later from its release.
Oh gosh, is it more than 10 years old?
Yeah.
I believe it's 2007 is when that came out.
Oh.
The
I'm not
first
100% sure, but I think so. That sounds about right. I can
Oh
confirm.
gosh. Oh wait, who's next on the list because my food has arrived?
Next would be Ty. Give us your number 5.
All right, go get your food because you're just gonna hear a repeat of basically what Nurbo's just said.
Is it really? Get out of here.
All right, I'll be right back.
I play this every year. I play through all 3.
Let's
So I just
go. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I picked the Mass Effect Legendary Collection was the thing.
So you picked the whole collection. Okay.
Yeah, I picked it because it was a collection, so I'm like, okay, one install, one game. That was my thing that I
Not
I
really
did.
how that works, but okay.
All right, who dropped that follow? I see you up there. I'm not even streaming. There's my alerts, guys. But like, yeah, the Mass Effect Legendary Collection, just to get a little Black Tie lore, was one of the 2 games that this is gonna get serious, so I apologize, Nurbo. That I said, okay, these are the last 2 games I'm gonna play. If you guys get what that means, great. If not, don't worry about it. These 2 games are the only reason why, like, Mass Effect and Jade Empire are the only reason why I'm here before you guys, because I kept distracting myself. And it is perfect. The only reason why it's not higher on the list is because I played it so much and it's aged a little, even with the Legacy Collection. But I owe my life to this game. It is so good. And if no one has played it, I'm a little upset with you if you haven't played this, because this is like Star Wars, this is Star Trek, this is Lord of the Rings, this is an epic in every sense of the word. It holds up with great literature, holds up with great movies, holds up with other video games. Like no storytelling. Okay, because of other things that are on mine and Nurbo's list that are also similar. I can't really say nothing has beaten this game's story, but it's so good. It's, again, one of those games like GTA. If it's art, you have to play it. It is part of the human experience, this game. It is so darn good. like it ports your saves over. Like, weirdly, the most interesting thing that Mass Effect fans ask, this is how wild. They're not talking about the giant killing of the worm. They're not talking about the genophage. They're talking, who did you boink? Like, what alien did you like?
What did it come back to?
Like,
We're
we're talking
asking you, Zombie. We're asking you.
How did you boink, Zombie? No. What I'm saying is, it was more about the characters. The characters really drive this story forward. Like, it's just big race attacking smaller race, but the whole thing is, how do each of these characters you interact with through I think it's like 25 years the game takes place over all three. Like what happens, like, and you build relationships in that final, you know what mission I'm talking about, Nurbo, in that third mission where you throw a house party and that picture that shows everyone that survived before the final battle makes me god dang weep every time. This game, when I boot it up and hear those notes of the Mass Effect theme song, you know, that really smooth menu music, Nurbo, I cry, and I always say I'm back home. When I play this, I feel at home. It is insane. I know this getting a little warm and mushy, but this game is like a warm blanket of sci-fi goodness. Mass Effect Collection. There it is.
Okay. I can't even be mad about your pick.
Nice.
Oh, that was it.
I'm surprised it fell in the same slot. Like,
Well, no, he's
category.
actually one up of me, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
My 6, his 5.
Yeah, it's just one I play every year, so it's like it is my yearly playthrough, like that and Jade Empire, because I'm like, these games I have to honor every year. Yeah, and Jade Empire would have been on this list, but I know it would have been too much to go through this story twice. So, yeah. If you haven't played the Mass Effect trilogy, please do so. Everyone go hound Marky Buttpants to play it, because she's refusing. everyone like go at her right now. Whatever, just please, guys, play this game if you have not, and do yourself a favor and take that warm blanket, wrap it around yourself, and go, I'm home.
I will think about you.
Yeah.
Cooj, give us your number 5.
My number 5. It's about to get real dark.
Oh boy.
So my number 5 is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh,
You're the only man with balls enough to do that.
This game is so good at driving you fucking insane. I mean, fluffing insane. Sorry, apologies.
You guys don't have to mute yourselves on that.
Right out of the gate, you start realizing that that Senua has a bit of mental illness, and they took it so far as to bring a professional psychologist in, not just a doctor. They brought a doctor who's been doing it for many a career to actually bring in to like direct how this character is going to be thinking and how to direct the voices that she is hearing in her head. And so the story is taking place where your husband essentially is dead, and you are trying to remove his remains or take him to a place to put him at rest, right? Or bring him back to life. I can't quite remember. I played it at like the beginning. But
oh, no wonder.
But through the whole story, though, you see her slowly falling into more madness. And at one point during this game, I genuinely was concerned that I don't know if I'd be able to finish playing this game.
Yeah.
Because the voices that are happening really start taking a toll on you. And even after you're done playing, you still kind of have those sounds going through you for a little bit. So it resonates in you very, very hard. But the game itself is very captivating. It's a very visually stunning game. You have the mechanics, the puzzle mechanics. There's one specifically that always sticks in my brain where you have to actually walk through these portals, and by going through these portals, you actually change the area that you're in to find these like little, I don't know, I'm going to say mobiles essentially that are hanging up from the trees in the forest, and they are going to guide you to where you need to go. And there's a very specific pattern that you have to do, but while you're doing it, you are fighting enemies and doing these different things. But the music as well is very, very good. It's very, very fitting for the scene, but I think the music as well, though, also ties to the mood that the main character is feeling. And I think for how emotional that this game can really bring it to you, it definitely has to be a top 5 for me. Because most games don't really strike that hard at people. They don't go for that hard mental aspect that this game did. And as demented as it sounds, after you're done playing it though, you feel a sense of, I did it. I can get through it. And to me, that really strikes hard. And so for me, this has to be a top 5, no doubt.
I could not watch you play it, but like not because of you. It was just that game's insane.
It's so good.
Yeah,
So
it
good.
is.
It is so good, and I'm very excited for the next one to come out.
Yeah.
That
I've-
game messes me
I've
up.
heard about this game, and I always gush about audio, and I've heard fantasies about this game.
Yeah.
The audio design was there's only specific headphones that can actually replicate what the devs actually planned out, but the imitation of a binaural audio, and I don't remember what the other terminology was, where it's
It
basically
attaches
like
to
a
the back of your
surround
head.
sound system. It's not it's just not
Right.
just in the back of your head. It actually envelops you. It's
Right.
very, very it just puts you in that place, and that's why they're so stunning and so impactful. Even like you said, Cooj, after you play the game, it still fucks with you because it's that well done.
And I will throw out there, I was wearing these headphones when I was playing it, and these are the SteelSeries Arctis Pro 7, and they can do that. They have that ability to give you that binaural feeling where you can figure out if something is in front of you versus behind you. And it is, and the thing is though, when I play games like that or just general horror type, I also have the volume turned up much louder. Like, one, so people can scare the crap out of me when I have sound alerts, but also to get more into the scene that I play, for the game. And it really puts it to you. It puts it to you really hard. Because it's coming from all different directions. And the thing is though, it's not just these it's not just like a person talking to you. As the game progresses, it starts turning into 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 people talking, and they are having conversations talking about you.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
that.
it gets.
And it seriously sounds like they are standing just down. Like, for me, it's like they could be standing over at this door into my office, just talking about me.
Every voice sounds like a different distance from you, and like all of it's like within a 10 feet radius. It's like it feels like when someone's right next to you, someone's 3 feet away from you, someone's like 5 feet away. Oh god, it was so good.
Yeah.
Let's say no thanks, dog.
Oh, it's definitely a game I should pick up now.
It's so
I-
good if you haven't played it.
It's so good though. I like, yeah. If you like only play what you can handle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say for it. If you are getting anxiety, like severe anxiety from it, you need to stop, because this game is going to push you. It will mentally push you over an edge. It has that ability.
I will say it has an overarching like life lesson to it too, which is like
Yes.
really, really beautiful at the end. So like
Yes.
it's definitely so worth the play.
That's nice.
Yes.
No thanks. It sounds too much
Yes.
for me.
But it
I love
Yes.
it though.
It is.
That-
It can be very. It can take a very hard toll on people. So I preface it with go in with the mindset that if you need to stop, stop. Come back to it later. Get your mind straight before you come back to it if you have to.
Mm.
Like, take. Also, let's. Can I say one more thing before we move on?
Do say it.
With the other thing about the game that I thought was very, very interesting. So you see most of these games have hardcore mechanics, right? Where
Mhm.
you die, you start over. Period. This game gives you a like kind of takes an old school mechanic where you have so many times, like you have so many lives, and then you have to start the game over, or you go back to the beginning of a stage and go through like those old school like retro games. This one has that weird concept where if you die so many times throughout the game, you start over. It'll
That's odd
remove your
for a new
save,
game.
you start at the beginning again, and you have to go through the whole story again.
Get out of here! I didn't know that.
What?
Yes.
Brutal.
Did that
Yeah.
happen?
But
Yes.
but it also stacks up on the fear factor of the game because
and yes, so is what happens.
Wait,
is
that
when you
happened
die-
to you?
I'm done.
No, I did not. I made it through the first.
I'm not saying
I made
'cause
it
that
through in
didn't
one
happen to
playthrough.
me.
I made it through in one playthrough. I was really close though.
You played
I
on the
was
highest
really close.
difficulty too?
No, I don't know if it gives you a difficulty level on it.
there's a
I think it's
difficulty.
just
That
maybe
just
after
sounds
your
like-
first play, but you like,
Oh,
but as you
God.
if you die, you start getting this like growth that starts moving up your body, and once it reaches your head, you die. Like your
Oh.
character dies eternally, and so then you start the whole thing over again, which is really interesting.
Cooj, are you okay, man? You like some weird games.
Yeah, no, there is a difficulty easy.
Oh.
God, that sounds scary.
my
Holy
next
cow.
choice is also up there with the weirdness.
Y'all are.
It's but I mean they're
Sounds like
very
it's-
they're very forgiving with how many deaths you can have. I think
Yeah,
it
you could take a
was like
beating in that game.
15.
I hope
think it
you
was
know my
like
explanation.
15 or something like that.
Yeah, sorry. I hope you know my explanations are not like putting it down. That just sounds terrifying to me personally.
No, it's
Like, this entire game.
so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Holy cow.
So, I don't know if all of you guys had kind of the same issue I had, but from like 5 and up, man, it
Oh yeah,
it was tough.
It did get tough.
It was tough. So
Look
for
at Cooj is like, nah.
my number
well,
5, go ahead. Could you were saying?
I had more of a trouble getting like 4 and 5. Like 1, 2, 3 was pretty easy, but like 4 through like 7 or 8 was really difficult for me.
My 1 to 5 was definitely my harder ones. Like I definitely moved things around a couple of times before I finally was like, this is what we're going with. So I'm just gonna peel the Band-Aid off right away and say my number 5 is Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon.
That's on the list.
Let the beat down begin.
No, I'm shocked that he, like, cool, we won actually give me the year, but it also got on Nurbos. I'm more surprised.
No, it was very, very good. It's
Cool.
there are good and there are bad things to it, and that's why it's my number 5. The good thing about it is, like, I grew up watching Gundam and all that stuff, and this is the game that comes the closest to feeling like Gundam. You know, and I've played Gundam video games. They do not feel like Gundam. So, like, this truly feels like the anime Gundam when you're, like, flying around and doing stuff and, like, fighting. The levels are short, so, like, you can kind of run through that game. Like, I think each playthrough is around, like,
10
15 to
hours,
20
at most.
hours, depending on, like, if you do all the missions. Because technically there are, like, main missions that you could just run through and not do the other stuff. It's really good. It's really, really good. The combat's really good. There's a lot of diversity in how you decide to build your mech. There's a lot of good storyline stuff to it as well. One of the bad but good things is that you have to do kind of like 3 playthroughs to get the full grasp of the story, because like each playthrough kind of changes the level and also gives you choices in level. So like the first playthrough, there's not really much choice. The second playthrough, there's a bit more choice, and then the third playthrough, like, there's all the choice, and like you at those choices change things as far as how the story plays out, what kind of ending you're gonna get, because there is 3 total endings, and all that stuff, and like you also get more stuff to add to your to your thing and like change it up and make it more interesting how you decide to play it, and it's just really good, man. Like the boss fights are really good, the gameplays are really good. It's it's good. I'm not gonna go crazy here on explaining it too much because like
I'll do it later.
yeah, I feel like I have to note that on my mind. It's gonna be on your list. So that is my number 5 Armored Core 6 Fires.
I just have to say, Nurbo, that it made your list makes me the happiest girl at prom. I was like, he'll like this game, and you did. I was like, okay, cool, that was fine. I did not expect you to actually put it on the list. That's actually insane.
We are now going into what, number 4? So it's Ty, your turn.
Okay, so Cooj, you remember how like 4 positions ago I was like, I'm gonna yell at you for 5 minutes?
Yeah,
well,
go for it.
Yeah, we're here.
Do it. Let's go.
All right. So you liked Alan Wake, right?
Uh-huh.
Why the hell have you not played Control, dude? What is wrong
Why
with
have I
you?
not played Control? I actually have that on my list here soon.
Bro. Like,
That's the last one I need to play.
Dude, it is a Metroidvania, 100%. It's a 3D Metroidvania. I'm gonna warn you, but it has teleporting. It is such a, like, you got all like SCPs. You know what that creepypasta is? This is the SCP video game right here, dude. This is like X-Files. This is CSI with aliens. This is the coolest concept of a game that is told to you through government paperwork and memos. It is so weird how this game actually functions, is that every texture and everything is interactable, and you have a single gun, and then like Superman's power set for some reason, like right there, look at that. It's just really weird how everything presents itself. And if you're not ready, you're not gonna like it. Because the moment you walk in, you have a very intense conversation with the janitor who wants you to clean a toilet. And you do it.
You have a talk with the janitor and Alan Wake.
No, what I'm saying is, that's the game, is the janitor tells you borderline to clean up a toilet, and that's the plot of the game. Entirely. You're looking for your brother, and you're cleaning this janitor's toilet. I know that's not what this looks like, but that's basically what it is. It's insane. There's objects of power, there's ethereal beings, there is so, like, it's hard to describe without spoiling it, because I know for a fact, Cooj, you're gonna play this. Just know, Alan Wake universe. You guys know anything about the Alan Wake universe? Bizarre as heck. But this was my introduction to it. And I would say I've played Alan Wake 1, I've watched you, Cooj, play Alan Wake 2. Control, in my opinion, is the best of the 3 because it's separate enough, but it gives enough context to the other 2 games that Control makes the other games better. That's what makes this so insane. And it has a much better gameplay loop, I would say, and better side quests. And actually, once the characters get fleshed out, and it's far better. It is such an existential, weird sci-fi that it's hard to describe without spoiling anything about it. Just know, weird objects, weird beings, hot chick is your character. You'll love it. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm more mad that Cooj hasn't played it yet than anything.
That is on my list for this year, though.
Okay,
I will admit it is on my list for this year.
All right, because I played this as a joke to rub it in Dissinger's face that I could beat it before he did, and I forgot about that joke until this moment. And I'm gonna 100% it this year. I love it so much. It's so good.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it is.
Okay.
You need to play the other ones. If you haven't, you need to.
I do need to play those other ones. And the thing is, though, I don't want to be disappointed that they aren't as good as Control. I have played the first one, and the second one seemed a little.
If anything, at least play Alan Wake, because those are amazing.
I have, and the DLC for Control is all about Alan Wake. So, like, it's all about that.
Like, you got to. It's just it's too good to not.
And I will say the fact that you can fly around and just rip the building apart and throw it at stuff, coolest concept for a video game ever.
Yep.
A Magneto, what up?
Yep, absolutely.
Sorry, it's just it's so weird and good. It's such a weird, good game.
I realize I made a mistake here. We skipped Zombie's number 5. So Zombie, could you give us your number 5?
Hello.
No.
I'm eating, so it's fine. I'm eating. I have food in my mouth, so it's totally fine. You actually gave me time to chew on my food. Very, very chill.
I'd come up with another number, but 5 and 5 would be the same. So
I mean, we got your 5. I totally forgot to get Zombie's 5 before jumping to tie. So, Zombie, I
you're good.
apologize.
You're
Could
good.
you give us?
no, I would tell Zombie a different number, but 5 is also 5, no matter which way you spin
he's
it
at
on his
5,
list.
and then he's
Yeah.
going to
No,
6.
well, technically, that's his number 6, though.
No,
Yeah, it is my
you're
number 6. That's why I'm a little confused. I'm like, wait, they're
Hurry
on
up.
5, but I'm on.
Do it.
Well, my number 5 is a game that I went in. It has a very sentimental place in my heart because that's when I started streaming again. When I started getting a lot more people coming in and just saying hello at least. Deep throw that. Shut up, Dev. Hello, Dev.
Oh,
It's a game that I hold very dearly, but it doesn't hold up to the mushy feeling that I have for it. It's very strange, and I like the artwork. It's called Scorn.
Oh.
I think Cooj, you've played it.
I haven't played it. I will never touch that game. I'm glad you enjoyed it, though.
I don't know. I've watched somebody else play it. I don't remember who. I was like, oh my gosh, they're getting to the part. There's a very important scene where everybody's like, oh my gosh, what? What?
That game.
Yeah. Scorn is a puzzle-based exploration game where you go through what looks to be a broken-down facility. I am, as you guys have already seen, I'm a sucker for ambient storytelling.
Yeah.
This one does not tell you anything. All you do is wake up as this humanoid creature going through this facility that is broken down and withered, and you don't have no clue where to go or what to
Yeah,
do.
we're on the like top 3. Like he's doing his 5.
And this one is bizarre. It is this. I think it's based off of the artistic style of the guy that made the Alien movies. Which I don't remember his name. Which, on a side note, it is the same guy that designed Korn, Jonathan Davis's microphone. The big metal lady with the nipples.
Yeah.
It's the same artist that made that microphone.
HR
But the
Geiger.
thing, yeah, H.R. Geiger. There you go. It's very based off of that style, and it's just a morbid style that I really enjoy. And this game has it all. It has spoopy, it has ambient storytelling, it has bizarre situations where they put you through like having to put your hand inside of an apparatus that just clings onto it, and it almost rips your hand off, but you're fine. It's a key. You just acquired a key to open the next door, but it hurts like hell.
That's the game with the machine at the end, right?
Yes, that's the scene
Okay.
that everybody talks about.
Yeah,
The Suckinator 5000.
Yeah, the suck off machine.
Yeah, the Suckinator 5000. It has a big relevance in the story because at the end, if you're looking around on a portrait and kind of understanding what's going on, a lot of the way that that society has gone forth is because of the sexual nature of the human being. It's bizarre, it's weird, but I love the storytelling. I know that story. I love the ambience. The ambience is another good thing about it, and the visual art of it. It's something that really put it up there. It was fighting alongside a few other games, but I was like, no, this one, it has a very big like the sentimental place in my brain, and I enjoyed the game a lot while I was playing it. So it stays here. It stays here on my number 5.
Andrew,
The Black Luck 3000.
I only want to say for anyone who's joined our channel, since we are like 5 deep already, if you guys don't get the inside joke, Zombie's the only one that has the list backwards. So his 1 is his number 10, and his 10 is his number 1.
So is your number 6 zombie?
So that is
Yeah.
why we are making that reference constantly with him. Just
Yeah,
to catch
my-
all of you guys who joined any of our channels at this point, now that we are roughly 2 hours in.
Yeah, I did a
Again.
dumb and put my list backwards. I'm like, oh no. This is gonna make some awkward situations now.
What's your number 6?
Number 4, for Cooj. What do you got? Let's go back to our original order here.
Shut up.
We'll let Zombie eat some more.
Okay, so my number 4 that I played this year is more or less considered a big classic game. A TV series was just recently made of it.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
we're going to take it all the way back to 2013. It is made by Naughty Dog, and it is The Last of Us.
Ooh.
This is a game I will always come back to. I am not going to lie. I am a Naughty Dog shill. I love the way this studio makes games. Period. They know how to make stories, and they will grab your attention. It does not matter what the subject is. They know how to make a story. And this one was absolutely amazing in the fact that you are literally traveling across the United States to essentially bring cargo, which happens to be Ellie. Which, if you have not played The Last of Us, you need to. It is an absolutely amazing story. It was one that will always be talked about. It is a very revolutionary game that a lot of people will never forget. So-
As soon as you said TV show, I was already typing the name in. I just
Yeah.
knew it had to be that one.
That was the first horror game I got my wife to watch me play through was Last of Us, and it brings tears every time I play it, especially as like a dad. Oh my god, you will break down like a baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's worth it every time.
Yes.
Has anyone
Yes.
watched the TV show? Because I heard that's one of the few video game adaptations that is like
It's
true
good.
to the game.
Yes.
It's good, Nervo. Yep.
It's
I've seen
very
good.
good.
Like 2 or 3 episodes, but
It's
it
different,
has so
but it's
far.
good.
I've heard a lot of people not like it. I don't know why, but and a lot of people are justifying the fact that I think everyone here is going to agree that we all now consider Pedro Pascal as our daddy
Oh,
in
100%.
in all of the series.
Pedro Pascal is a zaddy. Well, hands down.
Yes. A lot of people are saying he carried the whole series. No, the series is fucking good.
It's packed with great talent. It's not just zaddy.
Yeah, no, I know. I like that also that they gave a little bit more story to what was their name? The gay couple?
Yeah, Nick
It-
Offerman. Like he
Yeah.
was solid in
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like how that was just a good love story. Like
Uh,
how
it
did
was
that work?
that one got me in tears. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yeah, that was really good.
it was so well done. And in the game, they don't do him justice. It's just a scene that you just go by. Here,
Yeah.
they actually they fleshed out the characters, and they actually made you feel, oh my gosh, why am I crying? Why are you? Don't die, please, don't die. That's where you
You
cry.
scream that like every single episode. Just don't die,
Yeah, exactly.
please.
All right, so my number 4, kind of goes to what a lot of Zombie has been saying, which is GTFO. That game is the most ambience game I've ever played in my life. Like, it is basically an extraction horde shooter. And, like, I've played a lot of horde game shooters, whatever, all that stuff. But, like, no, it's nothing like that. Like, when you deal with, like, a lot of these horde shooters, like, oh, waves coming at you, boom, boom, just gun them down. This is like, you see 5 guys, and you're like, oh, shit, 5 guys.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I'm outnumbered. This is scary. But, like, in other type of horde shooters, like, there's a wave of 20 of them coming in, and you just gun them down like it's nothing. Like, this really makes you think, like, okay, I gotta approach this like this. Let's not scare them. Let's not get the horde going. No, we don't want to do that. Like, it really gets you in that feeling. So as you're sneaking around, you're just like, careful. Oh, he's moving. Oh, okay, move. Oh. There's a lot of red light, green light, is what I'm saying, as you're sneaking up to these things.
I've played with you, and we've actually used red light, green light as like, okay, we can move now.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see like one guy in front of you be like, stop moving. Okay, that's good.
I actually made it a personal goal this year, Nurbo, to try to go through every single rundown in that, because that, like, I almost made my list, but I just haven't played it enough. Like, I debated heavily putting that here as well.
It's funny because, like, that's another thing too, is like every mission, like it's essentially the same thing. Like it's an extraction orchard. You come in, you go do a mission, you get out. That's always gonna be the same. But the type of mission you're doing has been the same. I have only repeated out of like 8 or 9 different rundowns now. Only 2 times like the same type of objective, which is like go collect IDs, and this other one was like go collect hard drives. Every other one has been completely different from one another. And it's like hilarious because like I think I played this like with Fader and Chaos like 2 days ago, and I was like, you know what, we've been getting our asses kicked on these other rundowns because we're pretty far in these other rundowns, and I was like, all right, let's go do this one. This will be the first rundown of a tier is usually, and there's like 8 different tiers, is usually the easiest level. So I was like, let's just do this to start off so we at least get something done today. And it was supposed to be like it's funny because Cass is like, this was like a Rick and Morty moment. It was like, yeah, this would be like a fun 20-minute adventure. It turned into 3 hours. We got it, we beat it, but it was like, holy shit, man, this was supposed to be like in and out.
GTFO special.
But it was great. It was so good. It was just so good. And like that game, I cannot praise it enough. It is just so good. The ambiance is good. You feel the tensity every time you enter a room. Like, it is so good. When a horde goes off, you do like kind of like, oh crap, like this is happening. So that made my number 4 because just like, you feel a lot of things when that game is going on. Like when you're doing stuff, there's a lot of emotions happening really fast.
Yes. Yeah. I'm so glad that you told me, like, you motherfucker. Because of you, I played this game. You came up to me. You watched us play. I don't know who.
It was you and Hammer, yeah. And then
you came up to me because of you. I bought this game and now I like it. Like, my job here is done. Away.
Well, it's a funny thing how that happened because I saw you guys playing. It looked really, really good, and at the same time, I was waiting for that game that ended up like bombing after 4 days the day before. And then, like, when I saw how bad that was going, I was like, okay, I'm not buying this game. And then the same game that I saw you guys playing was, like, on sale for, like, almost 70% off. So it was like, damn, $10. Why not? Let's do it. And it was good. Oh, and that was a free weekend, too. So we got to try it out for, like, free the weekend before actually spending the $10. So
yeah, thank you for buying that Nurbo for me, because I would have never even looked at that. Not once.
It was so worth it. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
And now we actually get a finishing. They actually finished the story now.
Nice.
After 2 years.
We'll see how long it takes for us to get there.
Yeah, that too. Oh gosh.
So, number 4, Zombie. Give us your number 4 or 6 or 7.
I recently changed.
I'm losing track now.
It's my 7. It's my 7.
It's everybody else's. We're on top 3. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top 4. Top 4. I recently changed this one out. I'd like to do an honorable mention to Cult of the Lamb.
Save those. We're gonna have those at the end.
Okay. Hang on. Oh. Where is it?
It's over there.
Oh no.
No, pick
I
it up.
erased it.
Oh. Here,
Erase it now. He doesn't know what it is. I guess it's Cult of the Lamb now.
It's Cult of the Lamb now.
Is there an undo button?
Control Z.
No, I do Control Z, and all it's doing is cycling between the last letter and the first one. I'm like, no, what is it? Oh, it's Cult of the Lamb. My number 4 pick is Cult of the Lamb now. What the? I hate Word. Fuck you, Word.
Plus superiority intensifies.
It's Cult of the Lamb now.
Hey, that's a solid pick in my opinion.
Actually, yes. This was gonna be this place anyway.
Zombie,
Okay.
come on.
I'm professional! Yay!
Well, if you can't even remember what the other one was, obviously Cult of the Lamb was better.
Probably, yeah. Let's keep it a Cult of the Lamb. It was always Cult of the Lamb.
So tell Zombie, why'd you like Cult of the Lamb?
It's fun. Hang on. No, Cult of the Lamb. I actually do. It was on the list, and now it is again. Because of the fact that it is stupid, quirky, happy, and I love the fact that it broke Twitch when it came out.
Dude,
Everybody was so mad that Twitch wasn't working when it came out because of the Twitch integration. And that's another reason why I put it up on this place accidentally again. Because the interactability with a lot of other people. I you guys know that I am a sucker for multiplayer games, and this game for just interacting with the public is so good, and it's funny. It's cute, and the fact that it is based around like actual cults and still be this cute is what makes it so fun. I'm a sucker for good controls, and this is another game that I have the full soundtrack on my phone because I just love listening to it. I don't know the name of the composer. I've always looked up the composers just to
I'll put
give
it
them
up here, so I have it.
give them like that shout out.
Riverboy.
Oh yeah,
I literally have the soundtrack saved. I love that game so much.
yeah. It's just resonates in your head. It's so fun. The balance between base building and the roguelike mechanics of going into the actual forest and fighting all of the minions to get to the cult leaders, let's call them. It's so well balanced, and the game developers actually made it a thing where you can absolutely focus on one part of the game and still do a little bit of the other one without it hindering your gameplay. For example, you can go all out on base building and just go out for a few runs or the runs that you have to do, or backwards. You can go into playing only the runs and coming back to your base and just feeding your cult members a little bit of food or cleaning up their poop because they poop everywhere. And it's still a good viable gameplay because it's totally between both of them, and it's very much well balanced and so much fun. And if you guys don't follow these guys on Twitter, they are the funniest, most sassy developers I have ever seen. They're hilarious. They're have
ridiculous.
They have this banter with Opera. That they're in love with each other with Opera and voice mod. It's so much fun. These guys made a game that they enjoy, and a lot of people enjoy it because they are just happy with the product that they have.
That was actually my game of the year like 2 years ago when it first came out.
I played it this past year because I think it was on sale or something.
No, that game is so charming out the face, and my dream is to see Cooj play it.
I actually have that on my list to play this year as well.
Oh, you're nailing everything that he's gonna play.
Oh, dude, no, it's just like all these suggestions, like
so much fun. It looks like a lot of fun.
Cooj's perspective on games is so different than everybody's that I know that I want to see that one specifically.
You broke me so bad I had to mute myself. No, Zombie, yeah.
Oh, with my
your
losing my
number 4.
place.
Hey, it's still a solid pick, though.
I added that onto my list just because of that.
Cult of the Lamb, man. It's so good.
Oh, and I remember what I put underneath.
Oh,
I'll keep it here. I will write it down because I'm gonna.
Well, we have
Forget.
honorable mentions at the end if you want to put
yeah,
them.
that one gets an honorable mention because it wasn't worth remembering in the moment. Bad game. Do that outside.
Going into the number 3s now. Cooj. Let's start with you.
Yes.
He also erased his list.
Let's see here. No, I needed to pull up my notepad. So my number 3, and I'm really sorry about this, Zombie, is going to be The Walking Dead Telltale.
My family.
The Walking Dead Telltale game. It is a It's a story-driven, like choice-based game, and it has that very good comic book feel, that very good animated comic book feel to it, and the story itself is so good, and the thing is that it has that great, like feeling of like getting you attached to these characters. You make these very crucial decisions. You become very attached to Lee, who is then protecting Clementine, and you get to see Clementine grow up through this story. And so I don't want to give too many spoilers for the people who haven't played this, but I would highly recommend going to see it, or go play it, or see it, go watch somebody else play it. I don't give a shit. But live your life. But
We're recommending games, but don't do them. Okay.
but if you need a game to play, and this was one that I just decided, you know what? I haven't played this. I've heard nothing but good things about this game. Let's do it.
I remember that night.
And you know what? I am very happy that I picked that game because it is so good. It makes you make a lot of the more ethical choices, but you don't feel so responsible like you do with in Soma. But it is a very interesting story in the fact that you get to see Clementine grow up in this time, and see the different scenarios that she gets involved with, like meeting different groups of people, or realizing, hey, this person has pretty bad intentions, to find out that no, they don't, and vice versa. You get to see how she interacts with other kids, and all this hardship, and it is just absolutely amazing the way that the story is made. So I definitely would recommend picking it up, even if you only play the first one. It's really good. It is just an overall good game.
So I got 2 questions for you, Cooj, about it. Out of
Yes.
all of those walking, because I was there the night you decided to play it, and I was so happy that you picked it. I was like, holy crap, but
Nobody expected it.
yeah, I didn't expect it. I was happy beyond belief because I was like, that's the perfect Cooj game. Now, first question: out of all of the seasons, out of the 5 seasons, which was your favorite? Like, if you had to delete the rest and keep one?
Oh, let me.
Because me, it's the first one. It's the first season.
one. Oh, the first one was really good.
Because screaming Clementine every 10 minutes is perfect. Second, if I ever serve you like a ton of just slabs of meat, are you gonna get sus about what's in my garage?
I would.
Wait. Are you
No,
inviting
it's-
us over?
It's black tie. What am I
okay.
saying? That's perfectly normal in his household.
What I just heard
excuse-
What I just heard is that he's inviting us over to dinner right now.
Don't get too
coming.
excited. He's gonna dip it in some kind of weird cheese sauce.
You in Mexico land are actually closest to where I am, so whatever. Just come on over, man.
I'm running over. Hang on.
Heck yeah. There's a bit of a jump you're gonna have to do, but it's fine.
You
And then
know,
first-
You know, if I did have to pick one, I would say the first one is the one that really sticks. That really sticks out. Especially with how like how it ended. Like it was the perfect way to start a whole series.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally felt like I was playing a television show, and it's done so well that, you know, there were more memorable moments that really translated to the later parts of the game itself, like the different like chapters and seasons. So I would say I would agree with the first one as well.
No, so I just wanted to know that, like, your opinion on that one, because those are very close to my heart as well.
Right.
Okay. My number 3 actually was already mentioned.
We're getting into the hard ones, the really hard ones.
It was already mentioned already. My number 3 is Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
What?
When Ty asked if it was better, man, it was really hard not to say anything because
I'm so sorry.
I held it back so hard.
Oh goodness.
Black Flag by far is definitely one of the best Assassin's Creed games out there. I actually managed to play, because I do franchise playthroughs, and I managed to play all the Assassin's Creed this year all the way up to Black Flag, so that's 7 games. And yeah, Black Flag by far definitely, yes, I did like it better than Revelations, Ty. To answer your earlier question that I tried to avoid very hard.
You're fine.
It does everything that Revelations does. Everything it does. The storytelling is even a little bit better, in my opinion, because it's more focused on the character itself, Kenway, the pirate guy, versus the real world people. Because if you played any Assassin's Creed, there's 2 stories always going on. There's the memory, which is the assassin guy, and then there's the real life person, what's happening in our world. And they're both stories are very interesting. However, Black Flag was when they were transitioning between arcs, so the person you end up playing is kind of like a nobody. So
he's an intern.
Yeah, it's like some intern guy, doesn't even have like a real name, and like her story is interesting too, and what's going on there is interesting too. But the Kenway story is just so good, and it's more story there than the other one, so you get more of the actual like assassin story, which is great. And then the other thing that they just nailed, which I can't believe they're not doing it the same way with this new game that they're making, is the pirate shipping and all that stuff, like the ship battles.
Yes.
So good in that game. It's so.
I've heard legends about it too.
Oh, it's phenomenal, and I don't know why they're not doing that in Skull and Bones. I really don't know why. But like,
there's no better pirate game.
It's just so well done, all that in there. And yeah, it's my number 3 for all those reasons.
I'm so sorry about earlier.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I feel like I managed to hide it that you guys didn't expect to see it on my list at least.
I
didn't expect to see it so high.
Yeah, so... I was more like, I thought he liked Black Flag better. Oh, whatever. Was my thought, because I watched you play it. I was like, you were gushing about Black Flag during your playthrough the entire time. I'm like, he liked this other one? Weird. And then you were like,
Black Flag, 100%. I will say, though, I still think Revelations is the best introduction to the series in terms of gameplay. Because it just plays really well. There's some jankiness with the earlier ones that could frustrate people who aren't into dated games.
Can't swim.
You know what I mean? And like Black Flag and Revelations, they have their mechanics down so well. It's kind of ironic because Black Flag, the full title is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. It's really the 7th game in the series. So
yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Episode 4, so you know.
And then it's like they messed it up with 3, which is technically the 6th game in the series.
It's like Zelda and their timelines. It's all over the place.
Hey, the Zelda timeline's only as complex as you let it to be, Zombie.
Yeah.
With that being said, Zombie, what is your number 3?
I didn't erase it this time. Haha.
Oh, thank God.
It's a game that I am about to finish,
Mm.
but I've been playing it for so long since last year. Since it came out, I played it on the day that it came out. And ever since then, I'm like, oh my gosh. Again, tight controls. Amazing. Well, music wasn't that impactful, but visually, this game is stunning. It's about a boy that lies, and he lies a lot, and that's the point of the game.
Oh my
You're really
Lies of
dragging
P.
it out, huh?
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, you need that drum roll, sir?
Where's my drum roll? I want my drum roll.
No.
There you go. Thank you.
No problem.
Lies of P. Lies
Ah.
of P. I am putting it very high up because of how much fun I've been having with
I mean, you
this game.
still beat it already. Aren't you like on a second playthrough?
No. This is my first playthrough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my first playthrough. But I am gonna do a second one. Because this one I purely lied every single time, and I know that there are two different outcomes of the end, but I don't know what they are yet.
Hold on,
I know that-
Pinocchio's a liar?
Yes, Pinocchio's a liar. The first playthrough that I'm doing, which is this one, is purely lying, which is gonna give me one end, which I'm kind of seeing throughout the bits of story that I've been speaking with other characters on where it's gonna be ending. And I'm very curious on how it's gonna play out with only telling the truth, because lying in this game is basically how to tell apart from puppets and humans. And essentially what your idea or what the main character's wanting to prove is that he is still human, or he is human. Because as we all know, the basic story of Pinocchio is that Geppetto creates a puppet and the puppet comes to life. And he wants to be a real boy. Twists and turns of this story, first of all, it's very dark. It's once again, it's a Souls-like game, so everything is tragic and gloomy. But the biggest thing that caught my eye is the artwork. I'm a sucker for steampunk things, and this one is not fully steampunk, but it's very, very similar. And the monsters, the mechanics, and what I really want to talk about, how freaking tight the controls are. My biggest praise of this game is the parry system. I have not felt a parry system as satisfying as this one. Because once you hit, there's a slight ting, and there's a little spark that flies everywhere that signifies that you actually landed the parry. And that makes all of the gameplay and all of the enemy fighting so much more satisfying. And that's why it's right here on my top 3, because I've been enjoyed it from start to finish. There is one downside to what I've seen so far, is that towards the middle of the game, they give you one of the hardest fights against a boss. That it's like, why are you here? I'm halfway through the game. Why are you in the middle of the game where you're causing me so much pain and suffering? And the enemy's name is Romeo, so I can't be mad at him.
Okay.
I can't be mad at him.
Got blocked by yourself.
I pat myself on the back. Hey.
Okay. Ty, give us your number 3.
Okay, I'm gonna admit, Nurbo, all 3 of these were Game of the Year to me at some point during this year. So all 3 of these next games are, well, okay, number 2 is not 100% a 10 out of 10, but I have a very personal reason why it's not. But it's still better than this game overall. Y'all like sushi? Y'all like beaches? Y'all like to chill? Oh my god, Dave the freaking Diver, y'all. I did not expect this game to exist at all. Like I saw like a trailer of it at one point. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. And then I saw it came out and it was at a discount. I'm like, oh, I'll pick that up. And then like 3 weeks later, pulling myself out of the Dave the Diver K-hole, I'm like, what happened? What did I miss? Like this game. Like, let me just first the gameplay loop. You dive like this homie's doing to get food. Then you bring that food up to your restaurant and you cook sushi for the public. And that's cool. That is perfect. But you know, every game gets boring every once in a while. So the game's like, all right, well, you're playing Metal Gear Solid now. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, awesome. You finish Metal Gear Solid, go back to the gameplay later. Then it's like, hey, hold on. Did you want to play some Mega Man? Yeah, sure, I'll play some Mega Man. Sweet. Then it throws you Mega Man. Then it's like, wait. Here is a mathematical puzzle. Do you want to do that now? Like, yeah. The gameplay never gets stale because they put every single game genre into one goddamn game. And it's on purpose so that the gameplay doesn't get stale. It is a horribly addicting game. And it's wonderful. It's a roguelite every single time. Every character you meet is great, super funny. There's a visual novel about an Iron Chef competition at some point, and then you go through an Iron Chef competition, which is insane. Another point, the Metal Gear Solid part is actually you hiding from a cat so that way you can see his kittens, which is nuts. You fight dinosaurs at some point.
That's invading privacy.
No, you don't understand. This game, I'm pausing my music. This game is so like weirdly designed to keep going in like the perfect way. Like every bit of dopamine this is dripped on into you is at the right points. I had to uninstall this game so I can move across and keep doing my other playthroughs around that time because I was like, this game keeps pulling me goddamn back. And at that point in time, I didn't know about these other two games that were going to be releasing this year. I said it's going to be hard to beat this as Game of the Year, and it still is. I debated up until the show started my top 3 because of this freaking little indie, no, not really even an indie game, let's be real, but weird little sushi experiment thing. I recommend it to anybody who likes indie games, roguelites, and just charming games overall. You're going to love Dave, you're going to love Bancho, and Mochi is the cutest cat. I'm sorry, Nurbo. It just is.
Debatable.
Baby that you feed fish to. Like, no joke. This game is solid.
I've seen anime or not animations, some cutscenes of this.
Oh,
whenever
cutscenes.
Oh gosh, it's the best thing ever.
Your weapons guy is a closeted weeb, or like a weeb who never leaves his house and like buys body pillows and has you go hunt for his like anime dolls underwater and does this crazy anime dance whenever he repairs your gun. Bancho is a freaking samurai with sushi. Dr. Bacon is a G. Every character just hits so hard. Like this game needs to be played by everyone here. It's perfect. I'm sorry, it's one of the most perfect games I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how else to explain it. It's perfect.
All right, so my number 2 was actually Game of the Year in 2022. And it's funny because I never bat an eyelash on it, and it's just something that happened that random chance with me and Fader, and it surprised me how good it actually is. That game is It Takes Two. It's so good. Like it's if you Cooj and Romeo here is you guys do puzzle games. This is a game you guys need to play if you haven't. Like,
are we gonna cry?
Nah.
No, I don't think you're gonna cry. But the storytelling is
we've talked about
really
it. I
good.
played it.
Yeah.
It's a story that is very relatable with anyone who's married, and if you have kids, and like, it's just so well done. The puzzles are pretty good. It's not a hard game at all, but there's puzzles all over throughout this game, and they're not that hard either, but they're really well done. The boss fights at the same time are like really well done, and there's somewhat puzzly mechanic as well to all of them as well. it's just such a really good game, and the storytelling is good, the voice acting is good. It's really, really surprisingly well done. I can see why it actually won a Game of the Year award back in 2022. Like, it is shockingly really good, especially like when you look at like screenshots of it, you don't think anything of it, but when you play it, it is shockingly really well done. I highly recommend for you two guys for your Mind Melt Mondays for this game, honestly.
It's super perfect for them.
Are we gonna hate each other at the end? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's more like you're gonna hate each other
We're
from
gonna
the
divorce.
beginning, and then
We're
at
gonna
the end, you'll make up.
He's gonna get divorced. Oh my lord. I'm taking off a list to play with my wife. All right. You'll get divorced.
I'm gonna say F this. I'm going out with the boys.
Whoa!
Zombie, give us your number 2.
I'm
Did he
at a
delete
loss
it?
of words with this. No. I definitely did not delete it. I am at a loss of words with this next game. Once again, it's another game that I haven't finished because it's computer problems, unfortunately. But I've gotten way too deep into the story, and I've enjoyed every second of it. It's a game that won Game of the Year. Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
Baldur's Gate has been so up there for me. First of all, I am a D&D nerd. I am much of a D&D nerd, and this one tickles my fancy so much. Especially because Larian Games integrated the visual dice rolling, so that you can actually gush out about a natural 20 because you're like, oh my gosh, yes, give me those 20s. It has over, I think, 30 something endings based on all of the decisions that you've made.
And possibly more because they keep adding.
There's so much more zombies.
Yeah, I know, it's so well made. The voice acting, the situations that it actually puts you in, the liberty that it actually lets you have in the actual gameplay. There not many games lets you choose between yeeting a poor gnome off of a fucking windmill or just letting him down and talking to him. But I'll tell you the truth, I like yeeting him off the windmill. It's always fun to watch him go.
I don't think anyone's just letting down normal. Ah.
This is another game that has broken Twitch, and I'm appreciative of that. Haha, Twitch, ha. That's the whole reason with the nudity stuff. It was. This is the reason why they did the nudity, artistic nudity in the games, and everybody's gone crazy about it. So, this game, highly recommended. I'm unable to finish it on stream. I'm gonna have to record it maybe, because it gets a little bit heavier at the end because it's processing the whole city. And all of the NPCs, and all of the NPCs are doing separate things at the same time. It's just a complete chaos. But based on how much fun I've had and how much liberty this game has given me in actually playing, it has landed directly in my second place. It's so much fun, especially when you're playing with someone. When you're playing along with someone else that has not experienced it, you're always just waiting. Okay, what is this person going to do? What is his decision, or how is he going to play out a certain dialogue, which would change something really big later on in the game. How much liberty this game it gives you is why it's been up there for a long time, ever since I started playing it. Second place.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I'm amazed that throughout all of that you didn't mention bear sex once.
I didn't want to concentrate on it, but if you want me to go into detail with the bear sex, I will.
Oh man. Good
God.
choice. Good choice.
That's for the Patreon people.
Yeah. Wait.
Wait,
Do we have a Patreon? I'm making one now.
Hold on, I got one.
Ty, give
For a
us
low,
your...
low payment of $69.69, you too can listen to the Bear Sex
I wanted to
podcast.
talk about Bear Sex because I actually have Baldur's Gate 2 as my number 2 as well. Like, so let's continue this conversation about Baldur's Gate. Why not, dude? Like this, as a forever DM, I finally got to play D&D. It was great. And my God, that was also my biggest problem with it, is that being a DM for practically 30 years, I've heard better stories. I'm sorry. I've heard better D&D stories. I really have. This is still a 10 out of 10 story. This is still really good. Like, everything about this game was freaking from the beginning to the end. And God, did it take forever to get to the end.
Oh yes.
It was so good. Like, every bit of praise, it deserves it. There is nothing bad I can say about this game other than I prefer real life D&D more. Like, it is the perfect D&D simulator outside the fact that I can't smell the paper, feel the dice, like, and that's why it's not my game of the year, is because I've experienced true D&D enough. But I'm so happy that people are getting into it because of this game. People are loving this world because of this game. People are getting into CRPGs again because of this game. This changed the landscape, and so horny. This game was so horny.
Bear sex. Bear sex.
Straight up. Like, I could not. Like, I was playing as a black dragonborn warlock, so my charisma would just roll 40, and everyone just fluffed me. It was great. It was a constant, like, sex and violence. I non-stop. Really, let's be honest. Like,
Okay, can we now talk about the bear sex?
Yes,
So
let's talk about the bear sex.
So in other words, you were the Austin Powers of Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I was a big black lizard, Cooj, okay? I was a big black lizard. Why don't you get it? Like, I started with my character design to be, like...
Phrasing.
No, I did that on purpose. Like there was no phrasing there. Like, I was BlacktieBlacksuit, the big black lizard. You know what's up, homie. And, like, 10 minutes after the tutorial,
Black scales,
my
black
character
robes.
my character bangs a frog and then dumps her and then goes for the gay wizard. It was insane. Like, and then we literally, I'm sorry, Nurbothecat, but we cucked the god of magic. That was insane. That you can do that. No, oh God, not that Epstein living freak. No, it was. I read the documents. Oh no, like, it was straight up like, that's a thing you can do. That's wild. This, like, you can do that. You can literally say, no, God of Magic, this homie, like, wannabe Obi-Wan Kenobi is mine. Like, it's just, the game was nuts. And I know we're gonna talk about more because I guarantee at least one of you more has this still on the list. So I'm done.
Cooj. Give us your number 2.
Oh, jeez.
Baldur's Gate 3? No.
Give us something different. I'm just kidding.
It is different.
Oh my God.
I thought you were gonna say it is the same.
No, I played a big white lizard. No.
It's different. It's Pathfinder. No, I'm kidding.
Don't you eat? Great Shadow Legends, Cooj? Really?
No, so
Oh, God.
You killed me. I'm weak. I'm eating myself dead.
oh my God. Unfortunately, this one has nothing to do with bear sex, so sorry, folks.
Damn
So, like I said prior, I am a huge Naughty Dog shell, so this is without a doubt one of my favorite series to play. And one in particular I always give really high praise to, and that is Uncharted 4 Thieves
Hell
End.
yeah.
That
Hell
game
yeah.
is so good. I mean, let's be honest. You get Indiana Jones type trying to save his brother, and then you got pirates in the mix while trying to avoid other people trying to take the same stuff that you have, that you want to get, right?
I'm ready.
It has everything you could possibly want in it, and it is so action-packed. The entire time is very captivating with the main character, you know, Nathan Drake, trying to help his brother. The storyline itself, you know, although it is very linear, it is done so well that you are wanting to know what happens next. You know, you finish up one sequence, and I had multiple instances where I was playing this one and I kept going, oh yeah, I should go to bed, but I want to see what happens here. And 90 minutes to 2 hours goes by, and I'm like, oh god, it's 3 a.m. I gotta go to work in 3 hours. And so that happened to me multiple times playing this game. So it's just one of those games that I feel is a timeless classic, but I also feel that it is also one of the best games that has ever wrapped up an entire series. Like, I actually felt like this story ended. There was no loose ends. It was done. And I knew that there was not going to be anyone after this, without a doubt. They closed the story so well that I just felt like I finished reading a book and just shut it, and that was it.
The dust hit you on the face and everything. That good.
That is a pretty
Yeah.
good feeling.
Yeah.
That is a very good feeling to have something right
Yeah.
like that.
Do you hear that poof when you close a book? Yeah.
Yep.
I wish I could read.
Reading what's that like?
Audiobooks.
I know, that's what I do.
Listening, what's that like? I mean, huh?
Huh?
We're finally there. Our
Wait, what was your number
one
2?
Picks.
What's your number 2,
My number
Nurbo?
2 was
I
It
forgot.
Takes Two.
Oh, right, okay.
It takes two woo.
Okay.
Will.
Number
Right, sorry.
1 picks now. Zombie, you are leading the charge here.
Oh,
Yeah, what's
gosh.
your number 10?
I
mean,
can you guys guess? Shut up! Shut up!
Well, it can't be Baldur's Gate.
I actually
No.
don't know, Zombie.
I
There-
gotta guess.
Okay, do it.
Legend of
Nice.
Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Absolutely yes! You know me
Okay,
very
fair.
well, Cooj.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
It might be something that you guys expected or not. Cooj apparently did. But Tears of the Kingdom is very high up there. I am a Nintendo boy. I absolutely adore the Zelda series. I have the freaking Hyrulean crest tattooed on my back.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, I do.
That's so
I keep forgetting that I have the Hyrulean crest tattooed on my back because it's on my back. I rarely ever see it.
Is it like lower back, like tramp stamp?
No, it's
stuff?
upper back.
Okay, because I was
Yeah.
gonna say, do I
No,
need for
my
power
tramp
system
stamps
and
is-
fridge?
My tramp stamp is a little legend that says insert here, but that's another story.
That's where we put the Master Sword to unlock it.
Does it have?
Yeah.
Does it have an arrow? That's where the boss key goes.
Yeah, the boss key. Unlock the boss.
This game it ain't no door.
This game was an emotional roller coaster for me. Completely an emotional roller coaster. Because of the slight twists that it gave you near the end, that made the story a lot more like impactful. Yes, it is an open world game, and there's a gazillion hours to put into it because of all of the side quests. I rarely ever indulge into side quests as much as I should, but it kept me entertained for hours and hours on end. And this is also another point in my streaming. This last year of streaming that I have done as an affiliate, that made it worthwhile for me to continue on. because
Nice.
of how much interaction. I even had a friend that was in my chat that I know him personally. There was a certain scene that we were playing out that I was like, oh my gosh, this is so gut wrenching and emotional. And he sent me a message like on my phone, my personal phone. He's like, "You mofo, you made me cry with that scene." I'm like, I think I'm crying too. Shut up. So it's very much up there. I'm not just gushing out about it because I am a Zelda fan, but it was actually very well made. I know it shouldn't win Game of the Year, as it was running on the Game Awards, but because it was going against frickin' Baldur's Gate, which had a lot more running to it. But it holds such a special place in my heart, and that it really, this is my top one. This is the one that I'm gonna go back to because it's just so good, and so many things to see in it. It's just very special. So that is my number one pick. Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Solid
Yay!
freaking pick. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised, but yeah, that was good.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
Ty, what is your number one pick?
Oh, act like you don't know.
I think I do know, actually.
Yeah, you.
Now that I'm looking at your list. For a second there, I was like, I don't know what it is.
Meat
Now
boy.
that I'm looking at your list, I know what it is.
You exactly know what it is. Everyone knows this game. I could not shut up about the moment I turned it on.
It's Mario 64, isn't it?
100%
No,
Superman 64.
wrong,
No,
Superman 64.
yeah, no, it's freaking Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, guys. And I'm gonna tell you why. It relies solely on gameplay. Nothing else. That is the only thing this game has going for it on its base. What you're seeing right now is the cutscene. It's just voiceover and PNGs. Okay? That's how the story is presented. You're a brain-dead merc. You're turned on. Go kill a bunch of people. You're never the good guy. Never. And it's, before Nurbo says, all mine did nothing wrong, shut up. This game, like, has... Now, I'm gonna actually talk a little bit of trash about Baldur's Gate, but this is not meant to put down Baldur's Gate. This is just to... so you guys can get my perspective on why I think Armored Core was better. Baldur's Gate won, like, best voice acting, right? And then, like, best story, best all of that. The thing is, the voice acting in this game, unlike Baldur's Gate 3 where they have full-on actors, it's straight up just the person's voice is carrying you through the whole thing. So the voice actors are doing so much lifting in this game that I don't think they get, like, the rightful, like, accolades. The gameplay, if you don't find Armored Core fun, change your legs, and then you will. Like, there is a build literally for everybody. No two people will play this game the same at all. Nurbo and I started off similar, but by the end of it, it was wild how differently we came to, like, the philosophy of how combat works in this. Now, there's a meme on my channel that I called it a 3D Souls-like, and I kind of misspoke there. Best way to describe it is, like, 2D chess, and then that Star Trek 3D chess of like action games. So you're flying, you're dancing, and you have to think in 3 dimensions at all times, which can be insane, but the controls are so perfectly built around melees and guns and missiles and movement. Like flying, tanks, hovering, like blasting off at Mach 50, or just kicking a dude in the teeth. You have full control over these 10-story tall death machines powered by alien ghosts. How cool is that? Like, seriously. Like, this game is amazing. On top of that, FromSoft, obscure as heck story that takes 3 times to play. Sounds like a weird tract, but no. No. This is a wild sci-fi story from beginning to end that if you wanted to dive deep into the lore, which I was a little sad, Nurbo, you didn't with those logs, because those expand. They did? Man, I must have skipped that.
I didn't go find all of them, but I did watch, like, a little video on it and everything.
Yeah, it's wild how insane this game is, and on top of that, hard bosses, the Ibis series, Balteus, these things should live in, like, you should be in fear of these names because of how good these bosses are and how intense they had to nerf them, which sucks, but they are still insane. Everything about this, you fully customize you into this game. You are the mech. I don't know how I like to describe why I love this game so much, and I want my friends to experience this because it's hard to show it. It's hard to describe it until you feel how good it controls. Holy crap, the controls on that game are perfect. And keyboard or mouse. I've tried both, but I prefer the controller and over the keyboard and mouse. But it's so good. Like I don't know how FromSoft nailed it out of the park. And sadly, it's being overshadowed by Baldur's Gate, Elden Ring, everything else will overshadow Armored Core forever. But give it a freaking chance, please. It's so good.
Okay.
So Ty, you said that they nerfed some bosses. Do you think do you think they will ever bring back like a hardcore mode with all of those like with original nerfs, like with the original like builds, or at least beef them up?
So let me tell you what happens with Balteus, the first skill check. It's just missiles. Your screen's just filled with them, and it's supposed to teach you to dodge forward into them, like around their tracking. The problem was people didn't get that, so they had to nerf it by removing 2 rows of his bottom missile so you would dodge under it better. I saw a streamer, I'm not going to call out his egghead name or anything like that. Literally, if you know, you know. He got to that boss, beat it, and then quit. He's like, I'm not going to play the rest of the game because I'm playing an action game, not a shoot 'em up. And it's like he learned the wrong lesson, unfortunately. And that's what has happened with Armored Core the entire time, is it goes so hard against the natural rules of gaming. Because everything is like, you're usually 2D in these type games. You move left, right, forward, back, all that. You don't move up or down. So the up or down aspect gives it such depth. I want them to bring back hardcore mode, but I prefer a horde mode with co-op before that.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's because like I want to play more of this kind of game with my friends because of how like customizable. Like it's insane to say. Like I say people play this game completely different, but you take your mech online, you're not going to see that same mech at all unless you're hitting a meta. But like everybody paints it differently, different parts. It's 100% you, Cooj. Like I gave you corn cannons, and then I gave zombie. You remember? And then I gave zombie a freaking like a zombie horde and like a zombie like bite to match his personality, quote unquote. And the thing is, and then Nurbo has like his cool like samurai sword thing that I built out, and it was straight up. It matched your guys' personality and was always viable. That's the thing. There's no bad build. Just bad pilots. It's so good. Like, and it's hard to describe until like the only way to get somebody to understand how good the game is to hand them a controller and say, just step forward once. And that moment you hear the thunk of your foot stopping down and Walter going, I got a job for you, 61. You're like, fuck yeah, I'm in. That's it. That's it. That's the only way to describe it.
The other thing is like they'll never do like a difficulty setting thing because at the end of the day it's FromSoft. FromSoft doesn't do difficulty settings. It's this is the
that
game.
Was one
play
thing.
it.
Because it seems like, because I know that is normally what FromSoft does, is that it's just one play and that's it, like one play mode, that's it. But I don't know, something weird seems like this would be the only one that they would make the exception for.
There's a lot of things that like in this one where it's like, man, FromSoft just should have really changed a couple things up. For example, like the multiplayer, they could have went a little bit further with it.
I'm not even considering the multiplayer in this choice, though, Nurbothecat.
I didn't know it was a FromSoft game.
Yeah, all the Armored Cores are.
Yeah, it's one of their first series, actually. Like, it goes
just
back to, like...
one that stayed niche.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that it stayed niche. Like I'm not considering multiplayer in this, because FromSoft doesn't do multiplayer, and they've done more than they've ever had before. So it's like, okay, thanks. But the core solid single player like story of those 3 of like you saving or you blowing up the universe, you blowing up a city, or you blowing up humanity, because you're always the in this story. There is no good story in this. You are the bad guy. You are a force of nature. You're 61, the freelancer tourist who just comes to the ground and says, I'm gonna kill. And that's basically the plot. Is you're just this dog sent out to kill things, and it is insanely good. Like I'm frothing at the mouth right now because I want to scream, "Cooj, zombie, play it!" But I don't want to force it on anybody because that was basically the entire last half of this year was me screaming at all my friends to play this. So like, please, like this is my last ditch effort. anyone listening to me, do yourself a favor. Play it. It is good. It is hard, but it is so forgiving compared to any other FromSoft game. You will love it.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
FromSoft hard? I don't believe you.
Like the weapons, you can buy them like from the store, and then if it doesn't work for your build, you sell them back at full price. So it's like you didn't lose anything for trying. If you die, it'll say, "Do you want to edit your mech?" And you'll edit it, load up from the checkpoint with the new mech, fully healed. Like all of your inventory and weapons are ready to go, and you can try again against this boss with a new build. If you then want to get a higher ranking for the achievements and secret stuff, you can then go back later and do better. But you can progress pretty smoothly, albeit outside of a few bosses like Balteus, Ibis, and Snail Balteus. Trust me, Nurbo knows what Snail Balteus is like. It's just those three things will be like bumps in your road, but that's just, get good, scrub. It's FromSoft.
Yeah.
That's my number one.
Oh, hearing from the name FromSoft is like the epitome of hard games.
Yeah, and this one's their easiest one.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a super hard game, but
No.
there are times where you will get stuck a bit and you just start changing
Captain
things
America.
up. It happens all the times because there's certain ways to approach certain things, and then you'll realize that like, okay, let me not stick to how I'm doing this. Like, don't beat your head against the wall. It's that kind of game.
I thoroughly enjoy watching you guys play it just because of how, like, especially Nurbo, like that week I just spent the mornings watching your playthrough from the previous nights. Most fun I've had in a while because, like, you remember Captain America?
Dad was judging me.
Yeah. Captain America, it's just this guy with a shield, and it was the funniest thing to see him just be like, "What? To restart this whole mission?" Like, just the sheer terror of that one.
That one mission doesn't have checkpoints, unfortunately, but it's because it's a stupidly short mission. It's just 2 areas.
Yes. 2 areas and a boss. Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is like all the missions are not like it does a
long.
good job of like not. Put it this way, you know how like GTFO, you'll be in a run for an hour? That will never happen in Armored Core. Like, you will at most spend 10 minutes to 15 minutes in one level.
Unless you get stuck for 3 hours against a boss.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you get stuck, that's a different story. But like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, even if you have to go back and redo the whole mission, you'll get back to that point in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's
At least I won't have to exit the mech.
it is not Daemon X Machina. Screw that game. Jeez. Oh god. And you want to know something terrible? Daemon X Machina, this game I played the same year and crapped on the story. Armored Core 6 actually has the same plot. It's just told better. It is beef the same plot, and it's just told way better. It's like, no, our characters actually matter, and do not worry, you're not going to hear some dude just wax on about death and life and blah, blah, blah. Shut up, Daemon X Machina. Jesus Christ. But it's cool, the energy sort, like, it's the same plot, but it's just told way better.
Cooj, you're number one, man.
Go.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure y'all can figure this one out.
I actually have no clue.
I'm completely lost.
Are you, really? Is my list really that?
Your number
like,
2
No.
and your number
Is my list-
4 is what shocked me, that those were not higher.
Am I the only one who knows what it is?
is my? I was gonna say, is my list really that scattered that you just don't know?
I really
No,
expected number 2 and 4 to be higher, honestly.
All right, Black Tie. I'll give you the chance for a guess here.
I don't want to, because now, like, Nurbo's making me doubt, but I was going to say Alan Wake 2?
Yes.
Oh, I
that is
forgot
it.
that you played that.
Alan
Shit, I
Wake
completely
2
forgot about that.
is
Yeah.
my game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap!
How did I forget that you played that?
you
I
wanna-
was watching you play that.
You want to talk about a game that has scares,
Yeah.
a twisted timeline, third-person RPG style,
that's all
psychological
you.
thriller. It has everything you could ever
musical?
want in a game, and then some. And it has a damn musical.
I'm not okay
Musical's
with
kinda
that.
It
cringe.
has a musical. That music.
The musical.
Okay, the one at the Game Awards was. We don't talk about that.
I can't.
That didn't happen.
Game, though,
I can't do it.
that musical in the game is my
good.
one cutscene for the year that I will never forget. It does this. The game does this really cool aspect of where you play as the character, and then you get the cutscenes that actually is them as the people. Like, and they it's throughout the whole game, and it's done so well, and everything is merged so well that you're jumping back in between, but everything feels so clean the way that they do it. You know, it's told so cleanly the entire time. And they have this other, like, so you play as two different characters. You play as Saga Anderson, and then Alan Wake, obviously. And you get this really cool in-depth storyline with both of them being separate, and you have their, like, you actually get to work as Saga as a detective. She gets to go to her mind place, you know, where she gets to piece all her clues together and her profiling, and that's how you get her story and piece her story together. And you, it's like you help her do that, but she also kind of helps you do that as well. And then you have Alan Wake's side, which his mind place is essentially where he is going into these different areas, but he is rewriting this book. He is rewriting this book, but you get to change the scenes and how those unfold to figure out which way the story is actually going to go, while trying to defeat this entity that has been lurking since the first game. And it's such a mind-bending experience. And I'm really curious, because I know that they just released the final draft, which is like their new game plus, but apparently there is extra information that they give in the new game plus for the story. So I'm really excited to go back and play that. I will probably do that this year as well. But I cannot give this game enough praise. Oh my god, it is so good. And if you have not played Alan Wake at all, do yourself a favor and play both of them. They are absolutely fantastic games. Like, the first one is really good. The story is really good. The mechanics are kind of back and forth. They're not the greatest, but they
waited 13 years for it.
They really ramped it up on the second one, and they really made it a real fantastic game. So I can't give that thing any less than a number one.
That was one of my favorite playthroughs of yours this year, along with The Walking Dead, Cooj. Like, that was just like a party to watch you play that.
I can't believe I forgot that you played that. Like, I remember watching you play that too.
Yeah, that was like a big deal. He was playing.
I had blanked on that one.
I've actually had Alan Wake American Nightmare in my library for such a long time. I've not grabbed it because I don't even know if it's part of the actual story. But I've had this
DLC for the first one.
I think that's DLC. Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, it's DLC for the first one.
I don't know who gifted me this. Like, one of my friends.
I'm just gonna gift you Stellaris DLC, but not the base game.
Somebody gave me this. I was like, yeah, whatever, just send it to me, because he didn't want it. He just knew. I was like, oh my gosh, Alan Wake.
Except for the base game.
But I've had it in my library for such a long time. I've never played it.
Oh wait, is it in your Epic library? Because I have it too.
No.
What?
No, it's in my Steam library.
Oh, that's so weird.
Well, okay. I guess to finish this off, my number one, which has been said already, is Baldur's Gate 3.
So about bear sex.
Okay, bear sex.
All the good things that you guys have said, I 100% agree with. I will go even further because, like, these kind of games are RPGs in general. Like, I try to do everything that I could possibly do. I really go, and even then, I feel like I still missed stuff. My one playthrough all the way through was 160 hours.
Oh shit!
Oh, Jesus
I did
Christ.
like every side quest I can find. I did everything I could possibly do, and I imagine that I still missed some side quests.
You did.
Yeah, because
somehow there were
knowing
places that I tried to get into, and I still can. I don't know how to get into them still today, so I feel like I missed.
There are things that if you do one thing, it locks you out of certain other side quests. that could be the thing that's happening to you.
Maybe, yeah, because like there was places that I wanted to get into, and I remember going back and like doing weird things to try to get in there, and I could not get in there. But anyway, this game not only was my number one this year, it was the best game I've ever played, ever. Like before this game, my number one of anything was the entire Witcher franchise, because that game, like from beginning to end, I did like the same thing I do with RPGs. At the end of Witcher 3 DLC and everything, I was left with such emotions to a game that I've never had for any game. And like this game did that with one game. The emotions I felt at the end of this game for every single person in my party, for the ending stuff, like I can't describe it. Like it's just that magical of a moment. And the other thing that like I can't stop talking about this game is like things that you guys said, which was like the choices. Like it does things that like no other RPG does. Like it doesn't just give you 4, 5, 6 choices. It gives you choices outside of choices. Like you could literally somehow sneak up. For example, like I'm just gonna use this as an example, something I saw on the internet. There's a part with a troll, not a troll, a dwarf that has like, or no, I forget what she is. One of the small people. She has like a bomb, and there's like many ways how you can talk to her or approach her, all this stuff. If you're playing multiplayer, it's even easier to do this. But like you can sneak up to her invisibly, take the bomb away from her, then talk to her.
Oh, I remember.
And then her whole dialogue changes. It's like the game registers that she doesn't have the bomb anymore. And you can do that if you're playing multiplayer, and the other player does that while he's talking to her. Yeah. And that will happen. That like blows my mind in terms of like choosing. Like you have options outside of options that are right in front of you.
That's Dungeons and Dragons. That's why this game is so insanely impressive.
But it's like impressive because like it's hard to do that in terms of coding. You know what I mean? It's easier to do that with a guy with a book.
And not only like in coding, but it's just like predicting what the players are gonna do. Like how crazy are the players gonna get? Like what are they actually going to attempt, and we're gonna let them do it.
You have like, so many... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There is a. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say my question is how much quality control like beta testing did they run on this, and then have to go back to figure out like okay the players wanted to do this.
It's not just go back. They're still going back. They're still going back and still adding more.
They're not patching things out. They're just making sure you can.
It's got to be just an unfathomable amount of stuff that they have just got to add and are still adding.
I did 160 hours on one playthrough. Okay, my every choice that I made probably had 10 plus choices to them. Like that's baffling.
I watch you in Act 1 have a completely 100% different Act 1.
Oh yeah, that too. I almost forgot.
Yes.
I looked at so many different people playing this game. Every single person had different things happening to them, both in multiple experiences, like conversations that I had with certain people, and their playthroughs in general. Like everybody was like, I'm talking about like 7, 8 different streamers. They were all different things were happening to them constantly with their parties. Their parties were different half of the times. Like it was like
that's crazy.
What? No two people play the same. Sorry, broken record. What?
Like. But yeah, this game just on a whole nother level for me. Like this is definitely a game I will eventually come back to and do another crazy playthrough, because this is the type of game like I could do 10 different playthroughs in it and I still won't have experienced everything. Like
there's a scene where you find one of the ogres having sex with a troll in a barn. There's one funny interaction that I didn't know existed because I was playing a barbarian back then. If you go up to that barn as a bard, your dialogue options change, and one of them is, "Can I join?"
Oh God.
There's one as a barbarian where you make fun of his penis size.
I gave him tips. My dude actually gave him tips.
Oh my God.
He's like, you do this and this and this. Oh my Lord.
It's just so good. And then it gets even crazier because this game also supports mods. So like Chaos
yeah.
is doing some crazy shit, which he always does because he loves modding games, even right on first playthroughs, where like
Poor
he's
game.
playing as a one of the demons, the Raphael race, and like it's just crazy
Yeah,
what
that-
you can do with this game, and then even do more if you want to go even with mods. Like the choices that you have are just endless. But on top of one more thing that I will just say about this game is like they did another thing that like no other game has ever done in my opinion, and that is like make every encounter and like even meeting certain characters just so memorable and epic. Like you had such like I don't know how many of you guys freed the night song, but freeing the night song like gave me chills.
Oh. Yes. Oh, you should have seen me. I gushed so hard that Blur was like, "Oh, come on, chill down, calm
sold it
down,
too.
zombie."
Meeting Jahira was like, oh, so great, man. Like you meet this person out of nowhere just like tangles you in roots, and like the options you have there are fantastic. So like, you know, like I played the witty guy, so like I was just like, wow, does no one say hello anymore nowadays? And she was just like, hi.
Yeah.
Like that was so good. Like it was so simple, so basic, but like it was so good. And then like later on, if any of you guys did any of the exploring that I did, where like I would constantly swap out party members that involved like stuff that with them, you meet Jahira's family in Baldur's Gate 3, and the interactions with her and her family are just so good, so fucking good.
Now, Cooj, I have to tell you something about this game because you haven't played it. I didn't get Jahira in my party, and I had no clue up until this moment that you could.
She was so good. That's another thing. She was so good. Minsk was so good. Minsk with his giant space hammer that talks to him.
Oh,
Just
wait.
so
You can get
phenomenal.
him?
Oh, dude. So there's another
Quick thing: Mince is voiced by Matt Mercer. Daddy
that
Matt
I knew,
Mercer.
yeah. He's in a lot of things. It doesn't surprise me. But like Minsk was so good. Like there's even side things on top of side things where like you do this side quest with Minsk and all that stuff, right? There's a part because like the guild helps you find Minsk and all that stuff. You can go back to them and just see what dialogue's there, and there's a whole new dialogue. So I brought like Jahira and Minsk, and like there was just whole new dialogue. It's fantastic. The Minsk, he's kind of a moron, so like the guild is like, you know what, if you want to make, because Minsk was doing bad stuff, so he's like, oh, if you want to make up for all the bad stuff you did, you know, you can come join the guild. And the guild is actually like a criminal organization, and make good like that. And Minsk goes, this is a great idea. I can join you guys and we can find goodness together. We will reform the guild. And this and that. And she's like, wait, no, that's not what I'm talking. Yes, together we will. It's fantastic, man. He's like, me and my space hammers there. Like, oh, it's glorious, man. It's just glorious random text that like you normally wouldn't even get unless you just went there.
Have you guys gotten to the point where you meet the genie?
I beat the whole game.
Yes, I his ring.
Yeah, I beat the whole game. And the genie was great. Yeah.
Did you steal his ring?
Dinosaurs. Yeah, I got attacked by
I
dinosaurs.
did not steal his ring, but I did fight with him, and he turned me into cheese.
I
Yeah, he turns you into cheese.
I had the vampire turn invisible, yoink the ring, and then I put it on my main character, who also was already great at rolls for luck and stuff like that. And then I just rolled like a perfect 45, and I think you saw that, Nurbo, you got pissed. And then I was attacked by a bunch of dinosaurs.
Yeah, this guy, forget it with his charisma.
Yeah, buy this game, Cooj. Just do it.
This guy had
Buy
like a
armor
plus
class.
30 on his freaking rolls for charisma. It was just ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Buy the
Just like
game,
real life.
Cooj.
Just like real life. Get the game.
I would
Cooj.
like to.
rolled-
I
I'll
would
play
like
with
to
Cooj.
throw out there that I'm planning on doing another playthrough of this game, solely based on Twitch chat
I'm gonna do
decisions.
the murderous rampage character arc where you can get those extra. Okay, you can be a psychopath and just get extra stuff where it says no, chop off Gale's arm, and it's just like, oh, I can do that now. That game's nuts.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
choices you have are so insane in that game.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
there's choices
So-
outside of like what's right in front of you.
So we're gonna buy this game for Cooj, right?
Someday, yeah.
Yeah,
Cooj needs to play it.
you don't have to do
Cooj-
what I did, but like I'm telling you, you will
Yeah.
have a good time. You will have a good time.
All 500 hours of
And you
your
could do
first
multiplayer.
playthrough.
The multiplayer is very in depth too. The multiplayer is extremely in depth to the point that you could have a whole party full of multiplayer. Like it's,
That would be fun.
It's really, really well done. This game, I can go on forever for hours and hours and about.
We're gonna have another talk show with just talking about Baldur's Gate.
I will go on
slide.
for weeks about this game. It is just that good. I loved it that much. Like it did magical things for me. And like,
I think that's what happened with all of our games of the years, is that it changed us as people.
like I'm at the point where like I want DLC for this game, which is most likely not going to happen because like these kind of games that are this big do not get DLCs. And like I would want DLCs where I continue following these characters to where they're going next. Like because the endings to some of these characters is like they have paths that they can go down. And I would love to keep going with them to those paths.
I just want the adventure modules as DLC. Like I want to do Curse of Strahd. I want to do Lords of Waterdeep. I want to do like every D&D. Like you know what I'm saying, Zombie. Like
Yes, I know.
You literally have DLC already written. So like yeah, but again,
just add it in. Just do it.
Add it in. I want to
There's
meet
probably a
Tiamat
mod for
and
it.
chop off our heads. Like
There
that's
is.
what I want to do.
So now that we have our top 10 list, all these games, all of us can vouch for to today's date, all hold up even if they're old and are phenomenal games that everyone should be playing. So you have plenty of recommendations there for any of you guys who are looking for games to play that you guys haven't played any of these. Like you have so many great recommendations there. I will go around real quick though. Honorable mentions.
Ooh.
I will start, I guess, with Zombie. Let's go in reverse order.
I actually have two because of the one that I erased, and I remembered now which one it was. And the one that was in my second place, that was like, no, I have to put this game in here. The one that I erased was Metal Hellsinger.
Ooh.
Metal Hellsinger is a shooting game based off of the movement and amazing music that Doom has, but this one is rhythm based. So every
Rhythm-based
time that you
FPS.
yes, so every time you have a little gauge on your screen where these two little brackets go into your vision, and you have to click it exactly when they line up. The reason why I fell in love with it, it's because of all of the artists that made the music. They're all metal singers. There is Matt Heafy from this band, big band.
It's like what was it? Children of the Swarm or something. Like they're famous bands in that.
Yeah, all of them are famous.
Yeah.
And one of the final bosses, the song that appears on the final boss is fucking Serj Tankian,
Yep.
Daddy Serj Tankian from System of a Down.
Yep.
I was gushing when I heard the sound. I was like, I can't play because I'm hearing his amazing voice in this game. Tatiana from Ginger is in it, and it has me bopping my head throughout the whole game. And it recently released a DLC where you can put other songs into the game. There is a Paramore song in it that completely fits the whole rhythm of the game. So it's absolutely amazing. That was the one that I erased. That was going in place of Cult of the Lamb. But I had that accident where I didn't write it correctly, or I did something stupid. And my other one was my second place was actually Soma. But when I heard Cooj, what it was, I was like, I know Soma was up there, and I was like, no, it's Baldur's Gate. It's Baldur's Gate. It has to be Baldur's Gate. And I didn't change it right now. I had it already changed from Baldur's Gate, but I had Soma in my second place for such a long time. Because it's very impactful and it's very well done, and it has so much. It just drags you down. It's a game that made me rethink my humanity, and that's something that not a lot of like storytelling can actually do. It makes you think, how human are you? It just puts you in a strange position where morality and your decisions are just
very big.
So Cooj, I'm so glad that you mentioned Soma in this list. It's so good.
It is. It is a very good game.
It makes you think and question a lot of things.
Yep.
Okay.
Those are my two honorable mentions. One of them is the one that I unfortunately erased from its actual place.
I unfortunately don't have any honorable mentions. There were a couple of good games, but like nothing really that like standed out so much that like I really would consider for this list. So like, yeah, I don't got nothing. So I'll pass it right on over to Cooj here. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Yes.
Ibn Knob.
Oh God.
Mega Man X. Mega Man X.
Honorable, not
It
dishonorable.
was actually going. It was. It was actually going to be Heavy Rain.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one. That's a
Heavy Rain.
not top 10, but very solid game.
Exactly, which is why I would give it an honorable mention. It is a
Yeah.
very good game. I felt it was a little too chaotic at
Bit dated.
times. You know, yeah, it is a very dated game. That's very true. But the storyline is very good. I think if they came out with a remaster, I think they would see a lot of like success with that game. Because there's a lot of very memorable moments in the game. There's a lot of very memorable characters in it. The storyline is very solid, but it didn't quite have the edge that any of these other games that I had on my list. It still would be something that you should play, especially if you haven't for the first time. But it's something that I'm not going to be like, oh, I got to go back and play this every year. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But if somebody else is playing it for the first time, I will gladly sit down and watch them play it. You know, it's one of those games that it's fun to play it once, but after that, it's kind of meh. You know.
Yeah.
Falls
yeah,
apart.
I'd say it definitely. That's honorable mention is definitely the best place for that one.
Okay. Ty, you got any honorable
I-
mentions?
I have an honorable mention and a dishonorable mention. I'll keep it brief.
I got
The
a
honor-
hunch on the dishonorable one.
Honorable mention is Dark and Darker. Have any of you guys heard of that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
I played
was
it.
Great. Yeah, it was amazing. The
You
problem
can
was
still
they
do it.
the studio, yeah, the studio has so much legal trouble. It just became a pain in the butt to download when I was interested, and I just never picked it up again. Me and Margie played it for a week, and we were like, "This is sick, D&D Tarkov." But it just didn't like stick around, and I wasn't interested enough to download it, like pay the $65 they were asking for a direct download. And I'm just like, you guys are having a bunch of legal trouble. If you guys go through it and it fails, the servers will be shut down. I'm out $65. So until it's like stable on a platform, I say just keep your eye on it. It's really fun though.
I played it.
Yeah, it's good, right, Zombie? It's a good time.
Very good. It's very. I described it more of a D&D battle royale.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
plays the same way. It has the same gameplay loop as Tarkov, where you go in and if you win or leave, you don't have to be the last person. You just have to leave. You keep your items and you can sell them to a shop and get better equipment for the next run, which is a great, hardcore, intense gameplay loop. And the fact that there was different classes, like a wizard, a warrior, a paladin, it was just cool. Just, legal troubles, I just didn't want to do it. Now, the dishonorable mention, I'm putting this on record. Because I said I'd play it one more time. I did, and I uninstalled immediately. No one gets why I hate this, and I don't either. Freaking, what's it called? Lethal Company.
I knew it.
I hate that game.
I
hate
knew it.
Only one this year to get a 1 out of 10 from me. Okay? That game sucks. Fucking hate
You
it.
want to know how I guessed it?
Uh,
You want to know how I knew that was going to be your dishonorable mention?
I'm actually surprised by
I
that.
saw on Steam. I saw your review on it.
yeah, I got so mad at the game, I reviewed it. That's like, what did I say? What did I say?
You
I
know what
gotta
it
pull
says?
that-
It said
pull it-
it said ew.
Ew.
Ew with 3 W's.
Ew. I got
Oh,
so mad I left a Steam review on. No, it's just like the thing is, it should have been like you're playing with friends, stupid gameplay, great voice act, comedy, cool situations. But and Zombie, this isn't a play against you or anything, but like every time I played it, every group I played it with, I felt I've played with the wrong group. Even my closest streaming friends was the wrong group, so it's just not a game for me. I just do not like it, and I hate that I even know it exists. I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it sounds. Like it's awful. It is an awful game.
That's actually
God, it's
surprising.
no redeeming quality. How you mod it is wacky, and like it's just.
Oh, you'll learn,
God.
Zombie. Ty has very
I
unique
hate it.
tastes to a lot of
I
people.
hate-
So
Well,
this is
you
nothing
saw my
surprising.
taste tonight. It wasn't like out off the wall, but God, I hate that game. Anyway, I just had to get it off my chest and put it on a record that I am not playing that game ever again. I'm sorry for everyone who put time and effort into developing it. It was wasted on me. Thank God I got it for free. Screw
I
it.
will admit, I've seen a lot of bits and pieces of this on Hammer's channel, on Zombie's channel, even on your channel, Ty. And for the longest amount of time, I could not figure out what that game was. And
I
then,
still
like,
can't.
Fiddly Dinglebits, another streamer, I saw him playing it, and I literally just put in his chat, I'm like, I don't understand what's the point of this game. And he finally explained it to me, and I get it now. It's like a scavenger hunt, like,
Yeah.
thing, and you're like in a company, so you're scavenging and selling resource, like what you
Well,
scavenge.
no, but
to
You're
That's
essentially a
freaking
repo company on deserted planets.
That's
deserted,
fine and all
dangerous
this-
planet. So like, I got a better understand there, and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see the appeal now. Like,
I get it, but it's fine and all until your best friend's Canadian crazy mod comes out of nowhere and hits you in the face with a stoplight for no reason because he's like, oh, it's stupid. It's like I die and I sit there for like 40 minutes while everyone else is just like, a good time. I jump in and I die again. I jump in, I die again, and there's like,
Oh yeah,
no-
you're the one that died first every single time. I remember now.
And it wasn't the thing was it was just other people killing me for the lulz, and I'm like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Let me play with
Yeah.
my friends, and I go and play with my friends. Same freaking thing. It was just a bad goddamn time that I feel I didn't even do anything. Like I wasted time
understand
every
that.
time I played it. It was so. God, I feel bad saying that, and I even reached out to Hamma saying, "I'm so sorry if I had a bad attitude." He's like, "No, you're fine." I'm like I felt like I had to apologize to people for playing this game. It was so bad. Like it's just. God, I'm sorry. Please, someone play me out. Play me out. God, I'm gonna keep yelling.
well, we'll jump into our next thing then.
Thank you.
So I mentioned
Oh, my.
lastly to you guys that I have a little mini game for you guys.
All right.
Oh gosh.
Video game 20 questions. You're all on the same team. If
Oh,
you guys can guess the franchise, I'll give you each a gift sub. If you can guess the game, I'll give you each a gift sub. So like that's 2 gift subs total if you can actually guess the full game title. Again, you're working together, so it's 20 questions as a group and 1 guess on the game.
Okay.
So
All right.
I got a game here already. You guys can go ahead and whatever you think.
Who wants to go? Who wants to go first?
Yes or no questions if you guys haven't played 20 questions before. Just letting you know.
No.
Do we just want to go around the horn?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, who wants to go first on this one?
What is
Sorry.
20 questions?
You never played 20
Don't.
questions?
Maybe
No,
I
yes.
have, but
So 20 questions. I'm gonna give you an example. 20 questions will be like I'm thinking of like a tree. Let's say I'm telling you, hey, the category is like something in nature. So I'm thinking of like a tree. What you have to do is use yes or no questions to try to get closer to what I'm thinking of. So you'll ask like nature. Okay, is it alive? A tree's alive, so I would say yes. Is it green? Yes. You know what I mean? Like you're slowly asking
Okay.
questions to get closer and closer to like to
Okay,
narrow
I
it
got-
down.
I got the perfect first question. If
Okay.
y'all are ready.
Go ahead.
okay.
Was the game on to any of our lists tonight?
No.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Very good question.
That removes a lot of games actually.
That's
Actually,
a-
now that I look
that's
at our
least-
list, it's so
that's
varied.
At least like 30 games.
Yeah.
At least 30 plus games. I mean, shit. Hmm. Is the game considered retro?
No.
Okay.
My question is it an adventure game?
Yes.
Mm. Okay.
This is do we all get 20 questions, or is it
As a
20
group,
questions in general?
20.
20
Okay.
total.
We're down to 17, so it's okay. Is it a first-person shooter?
No.
Okay. This is tough. Like Nurbo's mind's an enigma.
Yeah. It's a cat. What do you expect?
I mean, none of this is
That's
opinion.
true.
All of these are fact questions.
Okay.
It's just I think Armored Core is a soul-like, so I'm screwed.
Is the game part of a series?
Yes.
Oh, ooh, good question.
Okay.
It's adventure. It's a part of a series. It was not mentioned in today's
Never
list.
That is
Yes.
also not retro
Or
That
a
is
shooter.
also
or a shooter.
I asked shooter because that does cut out a lot of games.
Well, you said
as well.
first-person shooter.
First person.
Oh, you
shooter.
son
That's
of a-
true.
So you need to specify.
That's
Like
true.
I said, you
That's
specified
true.
first-person shooter.
Why'd you do that to me?
Well, did you ask the specific
Yeah, no,
question?
okay.
That's fair.
No, I'm gonna dock
Because
your
like I'm
tail, I
gonna
swear.
put that out there for you. Like
I'm gonna
there's a lot of
dock your
games that are
tail.
shooters that are not first-person shooters. So it
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
is-
give you agents to start experimenting on you, Nurbo. I swear to Christ.
It's also a good insight on what we're trying to
Yeah.
find out. So, is it sci-fi based?
no,
Oh, that eliminates one of my ideas. Okay.
Is it 3D?
yes,
Gosh, that opens another can of worms.
It also closes like the entire 2D plane. I just killed the dimension, zombie. Okay.
Okay.
the fourth
Hit it with the bat now.
dimension. Sorry, I had a Dragon Ball Z moment.
BlacktieBlacksuit, destroy our worlds.
Whose turn is it? Cooj?
Yes.
Okay.
Is the game a third-person game?
Yes,
Huh. Okay.
So
It's not
part of a
retro.
series. It's part of a series. It's a third-person game. So I got a few other guesses that I have.
I do as well. Now that you've said that, I'm like, hold on. I'm a fan of Nurbothecat. Let me do some research here on my end.
Fucking doxing him right now. Just going into his computer, finding what does he have it written down somewhere?
I literally could if I wanted to. I'm just kidding.
How many questions are we on right now?
you've said 8 so far.
This will be 9, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Zombies is 9.
Does-
All right.
My question is 9.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was not a first-person shooter, and it is a third-person game,
Adventure game.
adventure
Adventure game.
Correct.
Yeah, don't ask him questions, zombie. That one didn't count, Nurbo. Watch out. I see.
game. No,
you.
I'm affirming the things that we've said before, so
Yeah.
they're not questions.
Okay.
If he wants to count that as a question,
No, those are not
thank you.
questions.
Okay.
Okay.
He's playing fair. All right.
No, I play fair. If you ask me the same question, I won't count that against you.
I'm feeling something.
How specific can I go with the question? Is the
Yes or no's.
You can go really specific, so it's up to you.
Yeah, you can guess a specific game. I mean, that's how specific you can get. But
Yeah.
remember, it is a series. So my suggestion is if you're going to make a guess, make it a series guess.
curious guess?
I
I mean, you also got
That's
12 more
different.
questions to ask before you can even
Yeah, come on,
before you
come on.
make a guess. So
Yeah,
there's
Oh, yeah,
plenty of-
that too.
So
I mean, if we are, I mean, yeah. I mean,
If you
we can
want
ask fewer
a
questions and then they
little
can
bit
guess.
of help, I'm gonna say
I got
like
this.
take what you know, and think about games that have these things, and then try to narrow it down that way.
That's what I'm doing.
Mm.
So like
Like,
you
I
said,
don't
you
know
know
if
it's a
you're gonna-
third person. You know that it's an action game. Like
Uh,
what are things that like those two games tend to have that could maybe narrow it down even more?
The cat just slipped. I think I know what it is.
The
I
cat
did?
just slipped.
Yeah, you just slipped with what you just said. But I'm gonna still ask some. I'm more than sure
I
now.
only said what you guys said. Did I?
No, you said something different, so I'm not gonna point
No.
out what you just said. But you
Third
slipped.
person action. He said that already.
Adventure. There it was. You just slipped and said
Adventure.
action.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
All right, you got a
smart.
freebie. Action adventure.
Yay! Got a freebie.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
You got
Yeah,
a-
I'm
I-
a little more confident now.
I heard it too, but I was like, wait, did I say that? You were.
Yeah.
I'm gaslighting myself. Like, oh, did I say that?
No, I'm not letting Nurbo gaslight me tonight.
Is I got a question. I got a question.
Cool.
Is the protagonist male?
No.
Ooh.
See, like
Okay.
that's a good way to narrow it down.
That's a very good one. Is the title of the game in English?
Hey, Dragon. Thank you.
That see, like that's a hard one for me to answer because like
Okay,
every
can I
game
rephrase
is like
the
in
question?
English, so like
No. Can I
are you
rephrase the
asking me at
question?
launch? Like what are you asking me?
Oh,
I'm asking more specifically, if I was to pronounce this game's title as it is here in America, I would be saying foreign words. Like in a different language, whether that be alien or, let's just use an example, Japanese.
Yeah, all the words are English.
Okay. That's what I need to know.
I kind of see where you're going with that, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're at 10, so half of your questions are gone.
hmm.
I've always been bad at these games. My brain always wanders off into tangents where there are no answers.
I love this kind of stuff.
I played this game with Hanna-Barbera cartoons.
Got a question there, Cooj?
Hmm. Trying to think of one.
I'm trying to stall so that he can think.
Oh!
I feel like one of your questions kind of stumped yourselves on.
I bet you it was mine, right?
Okay, is the game
I can-
considered a hack and slash?
No.
Okay.
Mm.
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 Hmm.
There's one question you guys asked that I'm 100% certain that you guys are like, damn, I can't think of anything.
That's all of the
Yeah.
questions now.
So it wasn't mentioned tonight. God.
It wasn't listed tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I have another question. Okay.
It wasn't listed tonight, which means that we could have mentioned it at some point, but it's not listed.
Right. Yeah, I got my next question ready, and the zombie is thinking the same way I am. Which, like, half the night you have been, so.
I have eaten and my brain is mush. So,
I have one awesome.
Yeah.
you have an idea of what? Mm,
I have an idea,
Question.
but the whole protagonist thing threw me off a little.
That's the
oh,
question I had
oh.
a feeling threw all you guys off.
Yeah, and I was like, okay. Like, I had an idea, but now I'm just like, really? I freaking know what it is.
It's funny because it's also the most helpful one for you guys.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so is the protagonist humanoid?
Yes.
Okay. Was the series listed tonight?
You already asked
Did we
me
ever
that.
mention? No, I asked the game.
I mean, it's kind of the same question because the game would
Alright.
just be more narrowing it down.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna take that question away from you.
Oh, okay. Then that's
the
fine.
answer's the same on that one. No.
Okay. Then. Jeez.
Cheese?
No, is the preferred control scheme keyboard and mouse?
That goes down to preference, really.
Yeah, that
I
really
know.
goes down to preference. I can't tell you that one.
Really? It does? Because, okay.
It has both, and that really comes down to preference. I'm gonna be honest with you. I play almost all games on keyboard and mouse because that's just.
Is it... Ah, God. Is it single player focused?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, you guys mind if I take a serious guess here?
Nah, go ahead, man.
Go.
Right.
Do it.
Is it in the Nier series?
No.
Oh, that was a good guess.
Oh,
Right.
the Nier Automata?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
the
a
Nier.
good...
It's a series. Yeah.
I was
It is
gonna
a
ask
series,
if
he's right, but no, that's not it.
I was gonna ask about Yakuza, but then you're like, is it a guy? And it's like, no. I was like, damn it.
Wait, it's not a guy?
Yeah, they asked that if it's a female
Male
protagonist.
protagonist. Or if it's a male or female protagonist. You said
And the
male.
answer was yes.
No, the Yakuza character.
Oh yeah.
The Yakuza,
Yakuza is,
it's
a male.
It's a guy. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
okay.
the most
Oh,
attractive-
the detective one that you've been playing, right?
Yeah. That's
Where you fight everything?
Yes.
Everything, and I mean everything.
Yes.
action, adventure, non-male, humanoid. Does anyone remember if we got like a genre? Something was thrown
Oh,
out there
yeah,
about
action.
Adventure.
He spoiled action. He gave us a freebie with the action.
Yeah, action, adventure.
adventure.
Did someone ask about like sci-fi or fantasy already?
Yes. They
Uh,
asked if it was
I
sci-fi.
did.
I said no.
Sci-fi.
Okay, not sci-fi. So
I did not
action,
ask fantasy.
adventure, lady, possibly humanoid.
Single player
Lie.
game.
Single player. uh, yeah, I'm feeling that sweat off of Cooj's hat here. Like that is it's rough. This is a rough. I'm just kidding. You're not actually sweating, Cooj. I'm just.
It's hilarious because like the questions you've asked have been really good, and you guys have both helped yourselves and screwed yourselves at the same time. Because I know how your minds are working right now.
I'm just trying to think here.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I picked something pretty easy.
Okay, you say that.
I did.
Damn.
At
I got
the
a
end of
couple.
this,
I got a
if you
couple
don't-
more guesses.
Go ahead, Cooj. I'm blanking, man. It's like it's hitting fumes for me.
Give me 1 second, Zombie. If you guys want to ask a question, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got plenty more questions, by the way. You're
I
only
just got a couple
13
more.
in.
I got a couple raids. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
3D.
A couple
as well.
rates?
He does. He's Cooj is famous.
We know that.
God.
You guys still
Uh,
have like 7 more questions.
I know.
That's
it's
very
just gotta
little.
make them count. Yeah, you got to make them count is the issue. Fine, I'll bite the bullet. Is it fantasy?
No.
Okay.
Well, no. I wouldn't say
Okay,
it's
that.
fantasy.
Like generically fantasy, you know, that's what like Legend of Zelda, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
no,
asking.
no.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Because like, I wouldn't call this fantasy. I'd call it more fiction. But yeah,
What?
or nonfiction, right?
Uh,
Yeah, nonfiction would make more sense.
Wait, hold on. Non-fiction?
I'm
What
really
kind of
bad.
game
I'm
is
really bad with
nonfiction?
books. Nonfictions is like not real story.
No,
right?
non-fiction is real.
Okay, so the
fiction is
fiction.
fake.
So fiction.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd call this more
Okay.
fiction,
Okay. So,
which is most video games, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of Arma. Okay. Third person, action adventure, fantasy lady, 3D.
My mind's going to a specific game, but it is a series.
what other
Ask-
questions got asked while I was gone?
I
If it's
asked
fantasy.
if it's fantasy, and no, it's not
If it was
fantasy
what?
or sci.
Not
It's not
fantasy.
fantasy or sci-fi, because I just can't think of anything.
Oh, okay. Now there goes my series. idea.
Yeah.
Is it Tomb Raider?
You asking for the franchise or the game? Because that's also a game.
The franchise.
Or
Or yeah,
yes,
Cooj,
Tomb Raider franchise, the new one.
You're going a specific game.
The new series, because there's Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Well, it's all franchise. Same franchise.
There's two modern.
Yeah, but it's still
Okay.
technically all the same
Okay.
franchise.
Okay, franchise, yes.
Yes, it is the Tomb Raider franchise.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay, that's.
Let's
oh
go.
gosh.
Let's
That's
go.
what-
Fucking Cooj!
Which one specifically though? They're all about.
There's two to guess because the rest are retro.
Oh my god, Cooj, you're a freaking genius. I've never played.
I
any
love
of
your
them, so I
brain.
don't know the
I
difference.
will. I promise I will kiss your brain and not eat it because I'm a zombie. Haha.
Okay.
No.
Is it? Nurbo, you still here?
Yeah.
Because I see you frozen.
No, he
Okay,
disconnected.
Is it Tomb Raider?
No.
Is it Rise of the Tomb Raider?
No.
Oh,
So what's the last
Does he-
one? Isn't there one more?
There's only two. There's only two modern ones that they've
No,
come
there's
out with.
There's a third one, I thought. Yeah, there's a trilogy. Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
Yes, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, Shadow.
Let's go. We win. Yes.
Hang on. If we all have our sound things on in the fucking.
Don't worry about my subs, Nurbo. Just
I will
Make sure-
throw you guys one gift sub. Because technically, when you guess the game of the franchise, that's the end of the game.
Okay.
But I allowed you guys to keep guessing, so I'll give you all at least one gift sub. Being nice.
All right, that's fine.
Because,
That's fine.
as I said, you have 20 questions and one
Yeah.
guess.
One guess.
Cooj guessed the
my
franchise
bad.
twice, and then he guessed the game 3 times.
I didn't know that. Okay. Well, whatever.
That's fine.
We got it. That was a pain in the butt.
Yeah. But I will throw you all
Yeah.
each one. Obviously not right now since I'm live, but I will
Yeah.
get that to all you guys when I catch you guys live
Dox yourself.
again.
Actually, can you just instead of giving me a gift sub, can you play Amnesia? Like, I don't want your money. I want your fee.
I'd rather give you the.
Hey, we did it.
I'm just trying to get him to follow Amnesia.
That is in my
Try-
very, very back corner still. I will keep it
I'm
there
just saying,
for as
I
long as
think I'm
possible.
willing to give up my gift sub if you play Amnesia. He's just starting to throw money at me now.
You just take my money, bitch.
I figured
No.
that would have been a fun little mini game to do at the end
that was
of
good.
our whole
That
show.
was good.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
it is.
good. I had a great time.
Now, I guess we should wrap it up.
Mhm.
So let's start off here with the outros. Ty, I
All
I just
right.
clicked on random. You were the first one that came up. So
Hey,
Ty,
yeah, no
what
worries.
what is going on
So-
with your channel? What are you doing? Where can people
As
find you?
Well, I am BlacktieBlacksuit, the greatest streamer of all time, as you all have realized as this night has gone. I am not currently streaming. I am on a break until about the end of this month, but when I come back, I do things like Metroidvania March, Mega May, Retrocember, and Spooktober, all for charity and sub drives. Go to my Discord right now. You can find it on my page and join it because I'm letting chat as we hit a donation incentive for St. Jude's back into Retrocember. You guys get to pick the game. There's a little bit of a rule kind of gamey thing, but I'm gonna be playing that, and then immediately after we're playing Tunic. I'm also trying to do a bunch of stuff on my YouTube channel, BlacktieBlacksuit. You can get all that info there as well, from podcasts about Star Trek and random stuff. To some videos I'm going to be making a bit later this year that are in higher production. And if you guys have any events or anything like that, and you're a streamer of my level or bigger, let me know. I will actually be putting out advertisements for you guys on my stream as well, with this huge stream upgrade I'm doing. So y'all hit me up. We're going to be good. We're rising tides and all that good stuff.
All right.
That's it.
Next we have Cooj. Same questions. What are you doing on your channel? What's going on? Where can people find you?
Hey everybody, hello, I'm Cooj. You can find me at twitch.tv/Cooj. I'm a variety streamer. Currently we are playing through The Last of Us. We eventually will be hopping into The Last of Us 2. But before that, we will be jumping into a new series gameplay that will be God of War. So, and we will be going through all of that. We also do other things. We do puzzle games every Monday with Zombieromeo69, who you see down here below me. Every Monday we will play games. Occasionally we will have collaborations with other people, which, by the way, we need to get Nurbo and BlacktieBlacksuit in on some of these sometime. So,
Oh, yes, please.
so, but yeah, we like to goof around. We have lots of like sound alerts, blur ups, green screen effects, fun things for everybody to use. You know, basically have basically be inclusive with everybody, just a nice safe space. So, like I said, you can find me at twitch.tv/Cooj. Also on other social medias like Twitter, which is x.com now, I guess, /I'm Cooj. And other ones soon to come. So we'd love to have you around.
All right, next is Zombie.
I wonder who it is. Oh, wait, it's me. Oh, hi. Hello, my name is Zombieromeo69. I'm gonna do it like my raid message, like I normally do. You can omit the 69 while saying my name, but please put it back in, because if you take care of me, I take care of you. That's how we roll here. I love interacting with people, and I love chatting with people. I'm a variety streamer of the undead kind, as you can see. Also, you can redeem my camera in my chat so that I can show my face and my mustache. A lot of people say it's my unique feature. As I said, I'm a variety streamer. I play absolutely any kind of game, from very spoopy to very fun and to very quirky. Cooj and I have our Mondays, which we are planning to expand a little bit, with other plans that we have. All the plans, they're so good. I play right now. I am going through a playthrough of Lies of P, as I mentioned before. I have not finished it. I am at the end, so you guys can tune in and to watch me finish it and cry about it, because it's a fucking good game. I really, really, really enjoy it. And what else? Oh, I would like to focus a lot of my content on multiplayer games. If that's your cup of tea, then come over here. We can have a chat and play games. I like playing games.
All right, and me, it would be the last one. Nurbothecat. I am currently doing a Yakuza Kiwami 2 playthrough on my channel. We also do weekly news once a week, and we also will be, whenever we can, with guys like Romeo and Ty, and I gotta find something to do with Cooj as well, but also be doing some GTFO. And yeah, that kind of sums it up. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, or X. I gotta work on more stuff for Instagram and TikTok, but we will have stuff going there as well, updating that. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. That is not the right button.
No, your cat.
And yeah, that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I'm going to head out personally. I don't know about these other guys.
I gotta head out and say hi to my wife. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
I don't have anything planned, but bye!